Fear hides here. Published to YouTube in July of 2021, this investigative team encountered something sinister. While investigating in broad daylight, the crew only just enters the creepy abandoned house when a scary loud racket is heard.
Mau cheiro insuportável.
Pelo amor de Deus. Mas nem chegamos aqui, o que foi isso?
Something is thrown against the wall in another room and sounds like it breaks apart. In one room, the investigators break out an EMF sensor, which starts beeping dramatically when it's held up toward one part of the ceiling.
Cara, será que dá pra olhar aqui em cima aqui, ó? Bom, parei.
One of the crew boosts another up to the crawl space in the ceiling to see what's triggering the device. It looks like the crawl space was being lived in at one point, as a pair of shoes and a book or pamphlet is up there amongst the soot and garbage. As they realize the book is a diary, banging is heard in the next room. Something is opening and closing the door.
Tá cheio de nome, mano.
Caramba, cara.
Foi isso, cara?
Não sei, foi só pegar isso aqui.
Olha aqui a porta, cara. Olha a porta.
Nossa, velho. Que isso, mano?
It looks like the hidden figure doesn't want that diary to be read. The cameraman checks outside, but there's nothing. A short while later, another bang is heard, and that's when the diary spontaneously combusts. Cameraman is holding the diary when a corner of the paper catches fire. He throws it to the ground in surprise.
Ô, vamos ficar esperto, porque aqui é eternite, mano. Se varar alguma coisa.
Olha lá, ali, ó, tá caindo ali, ó.
Caramba, cara. Ei, ô, o negócio. Oxe, velho.
Pegou fogo do nada?
When he picks it back up, a glass breaks in the next room.
Nossa, cara.
Cara, o negócio começou a pegar fogo aqui do nada.
Chega atrás, não você menino.
Tem uns símbolos aqui, ó.
Ali, ó.
O que tá escrito aí em volta desse símbolo?
Puta que pariu, o que é isso?
Velho.
Causing him to throw it down again. When they gain the courage to pick it up again, another bang is heard, although its source remains unseen.
Tinha um Lúcio Te Adoro por aqui. Vamos ver.
Caramba, cara.
Oi, que é isso, velho? Puta que
Nossa,
pariu.
mano. As abelhas.
Mano, será que esse...
Nossa, mano.
They enter another room, clearly afraid of what's going on around them, and the entity that they've made angry.
Será que
Sai
esse...
da porta, espera se esconder um pouco, velho.
Que jeito, cara? Aqui, o negócio tá caindo aqui, velho. Aqui, ó.
Aqui é laje, vem aqui, lá de laje. Vem pra cá.
Puta que pariu, a casa vai cair, mano.
Feio, a gente ficou... Vai ficar preso aqui um tempo, mano.
Later, they are simply standing in a room capturing video when a fire lights beneath one crew member's feet unbeknownst to him.
E agora, velho?
Tá pegando fogo aí, feio.
Another runs towards him and pulls him away, and the fire goes out on its own. For the grand finale, they enter the main room, and one of the crew appears to see something in a gap in the roof. A scary shadow leaves the gap as something breaks, causing the crew to vacate the premises ASAP.
Caraca, feio.
Mano, vamos como é que nós... E agora, cara?
Ali, ó. Puta que pariu. Vamos.
Nossa, mano.
Nossa, velho. Vai, sai,
Corre.
vai, cara.
Sai.
What was in that diary? Something incriminating? We'll never know because the spirit doesn't want us to. According to YouTuber 01 Supernatural Studio, a gambler lived in this place. He lost all the land in a bet and then chose to take his own life. Let's see if his presence remains. The ghost hunter quickly gets a reading.
黄色，不稳定。黄色，我跳到红色。好 ，OK， 那这个地方怎么废弃的？我现在就来告诉大家。
Inside, his meter spikes.
来，镜子前面测测看磁场吧。镜子这边红的耶。而且某方面来讲，这样的镜子会不会形成一个通道？
The spike occurs right next to a mirror. Could this be a portal into another world? As he continues to search, he hears a voice.
客家八音哎，小孩子的声音。
Here it is again with the infrared on. He asks the spirit to touch a paranormal device.
请教一下，就是那他的父母亲的灵体还在这个地方吗？如果还在的话，摸一下好吗？谢谢。
It seems to me that the spirit is here, but what the spirit's intentions are remains a mystery. If you have a chance to visit a former institute, don't. Published by Steve Ronan in October of 2021, this pair of scary videos will send you running for the hills. In the first video, Ronan talks about how Lectworth is where unethical testing was done on patients. When journalists exposed this, the place was shut down. As he's putting on some gear later, he hears someone near. He thinks it's Mo.
Mo?
Another sound is heard, and it doesn't seem to be the crew.
Okay, someone else has to come with me, because I legit heard something. What the You okay? Okay, that wasn't me.
They think it came from an adjacent room. The paranormal activity ramps up when one of the crew thinks he saw a person. They are later walking down a hallway when a door either opens or closes behind them.
Like someone or something walking outside. Oh God.
They catch the sound on two separate cameras.
Walking outside. Off.
As they continue moving through Lectworth, a sound like a rock being thrown occurs to their left.
But what's this door? What the f?
They then attempt to open the doors ahead, and something shuts the door on one of them.
Nothing in here.
What was that?
What?
Here's something to shut the door on me. It literally just shut the someone behind the door. There's someone actually behind the door.
They pry the door open again to see if there's someone inside, but it's an empty room. As they're wondering if someone fled through the window, their answer arrives in the form of the door slamming shut.
What the f? Yo. It's hard.
It won't open, and they call out for Mo to push from the other side. Mo manages to kick the door open, and they're all relieved to be out of that room. They then talk to the spirits, asking them to come in contact again, and the spirits answer in kind.
If that was your way of making contact with us, can you do it again?
Yo!
They race down the hallway, fleeing for their lives, but before they do, they look in this room one more time. Finding it empty again, something starts banging loudly and repeatedly in the dark hallway.
Go through the window, the bushes were rumbling too. Yo.
Still nothing to be seen. As they're heading to the stairs toward the creepy basement, a creaky door is heard opening and closing.
And take us to the basement. Yo. Who is that?
In the team's second video, they explore the basement, which they soon discover is just as creepy as the floor above. They attempt to speak with the demons using a phone EVP. As they're communicating, another bang is heard behind them.
Are you angry right now?
When they start challenging the demons to slam a door shut, things get a little crazy, claiming he saw the door shake a little.
2 minutes. Okay. Oh, guys. It just moved.
Mo soon starts to get woozy.
Oh, I'm feeling weird though.
Mo? Mo?
I'm feeling lightheaded.
Dude, your face got all pale.
Pale-faced, Mo says he feels dizzy and lightheaded and so sits down for a moment. They're heading down the stairs when Mo gets dizzy again and falls to the ground. Later, he is not being himself and becomes aggressive with the rest of the crew.
I don't know, man. Just be careful. He's not himself.
Has Mo become possessed? Guess that's what happens when you start challenging demons. These two scary videos were both captured in cemeteries. Published by Jesus Guadalajardo in June of 2018, a strange figure appears in the top corner of the footage early in the clip.
I got Easter eggs right there.
The figure seems to fly in and out of view very briefly, after which you can hear what sounds like high-pitched laughter.
Where?
Too creepy for me. In the second video, published by Ghost Adventures of Cornwall in May of 2021, Mark captures a bright greenish-yellow orb floating amongst the tombstones.
Whoa, thank you, spirits, thank you. Thank you for showing yourself. Wow, that's amazing.
Mark is very encouraging of the orb as it appears and then leaves for a moment, only to appear again.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Look at that. He's showing himself. I feel it's a man.
One viewer in the comments says the color yellow is considered positive, so perhaps this is a good spirit. Are these spirits hanging around for their own reasons, or do they reappear to provide the living evidence of the afterlife? An urban exploration channel called JJ Retro is exploring an abandoned house on the edge of an English village late at night. You can tell he's nervous just standing at the entrance of this creepy estate.
Time to come exploring somewhere like this because we're in the middle of nowhere, on the outskirts of Slinfold, at this rather creepy house. And there's a sort of haunted feel to it.
Outside, they find a spooky tree with a rope slung over the branch and a plank of wood to step off of. I don't think we need to spend much time explaining what kind of scary events happened here. And when they start exploring the inside, every room fills them with a renewed sense of dread.
Yeah, this is creepy. This is probably the creepiest building we've done so far in our urban exploring career.
They try to joke their way out of how scary this urban exploration is, but eventually they have to admit they are getting spooked by something paranormal in the house with them. Weird noises are coming from upstairs, or so they say, but to be honest, I don't hear anything.
Jen, what the f*** is that noise?
It's quite dark upstairs.
But as they slowly creep up the stairs, I can actually hear the weird sound, and that's when they get it. The creepy encounter caught on camera that they were all looking for.
Very chin. Whoa. No.
Hello?
And that's when, with all of them on the steps mind you, the urban explorers see a rocking chair moving on its own.
Come on. And that was the haunted house here in Slinfold and with.
Since part of the chair is hidden by the doorway, maybe somebody was off camera making the chair move. Otherwise, this place is definitely haunted. It's 2008 and two friends record themselves playing video games because they're bored and live streaming doesn't exist yet. As they're getting frustrated at Mario and talk trash on each other's skills, they both fail to see a ghostly watcher at the window. At 43 seconds, a pale blue face appears and then fades away. It could be a ghost in the window like they claim, but I think more realistically, it was probably a reflection of one of their friends in the same room as them. It kind of looks like one of their friends is shining a flashlight up at their face to give a spooky effect. Even though this video has been freaking people out for over 12 years now, I think it's most likely staged. A woman approaches a home she does not live in and immediately tries the door without knocking. Notice her mouth open a little in surprise when she sees the doorbell cam. It looks like she is in big trouble and knows it. I have little doubt that this woman would have taken whatever she could if the door was unlocked because, according to the description, she apparently tried the door just 10 minutes after watching the owners leave. She's also wearing jogging clothes and appears to be trying her best to blend in. Most neighborhood residences probably wouldn't take a second look at her. Who knows how many times this routine has worked for her in the past. According to the description, this video has been sent to the authorities, so I really hope she gets caught, or at least comes up with a good explanation as to what she was doing here. This video was recovered from a cell phone left behind by a hotel guest who is in an extra hurry to leave for some reason. He's taking a random video when some chilling moments are caught in his hotel room.
Just me and Ann traveling. Watches.
A dark shadow passes in front of him without a sound. The way he was talking out loud to himself makes it sound like he was talking to himself when the mysterious figure makes him gasp out loud and drop the phone. This situation wouldn't be too hard to fake. All you'd need is someone to walk in front of you and act scared, so it might not be real, but if this footage was really found by the next guest, like the description claims, then that's beyond creepy. A YouTuber named SE Styles is camping in the woods of Hinton, Canada, when he hears the last thing that anyone wants to hear just outside of their tent. A lone wolf's howl pierces through their conversation and renders both SE Styles and his friend silent as night sets in. They soon realize they are vastly outnumbered. If anyone watching this happens to be an animal wildlife expert, I'd like to know if these wolves were howling because they were aware of the human presence nearby, or if this was for some other reason. Perhaps this was a warning to SE Styles not to come any closer. Although I'm sure he and his friend did not need any extra convincing. A YouTuber named Vision Quest Outdoors is exploring the Gettysburg field when he has what he believes is a real video of a ghost sighting. The video is pretty scary and I think he could be right. Let's take a look at the paranormal evidence and try to figure out what it was he and his friends say on that night.
What is that? Oh my God. What am I seeing? You know, no way there's a guy out here at 2 a.m.
According to the uploader, they turned around only to find the figure had mysteriously disappeared.
Stitches time.
Some persons.
But they have nerve.
Swing around.
This is the footage from when they turned around, but unfortunately it's too dark to make out very much one way or another. I believe what he says is true because if I'm not mistaken, this footage is from the same location during the day. There are cannons lined up here but no statue whatsoever. If this was the same location, then this definitely has to be a real ghost sighting caught on video. This video follows a Filipino ghost hunter who's exploring an abandoned hospital solo. At around 4 minutes in, as he's climbing some stairs, he hears high-pitched shouting. The Redditor who submitted this suggests its scream is that of either a child or a woman. The ghost hunter proceeds to explore the entire floor. All the while, you can hear the screeching in the background. As he nears one end of the floor, traffic is heard roaring out the window. Once silence has fallen again, the screaming can be distantly heard, and then at 7:15 very clearly and nearer. The sound is terrifying, but we never find the source. What do you think it could be? My best guess is something paranormal. Legend has it this former asylum is haunted, and this video appears to be proof of it, posted by Zombie Platypus to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor says this was filmed in what used to be the living quarters at a mental institution called CSUCI. The quarters are now a modern dorm room. The clip shows a plate of shrimp moving across the counter on its own for more than half a minute. Its movement is jarring, as if it's being nudged around the counter every so often. Zombie Platypus explains that they started filming when one of them saw a quick but long movement that made them scream. She says no magnets or strings were used, and the dishwasher wasn't on. Most commenters agree with Redditor DieFitH, who suggests this may not be paranormal activity at all. He writes, if the bottom of the plate has a lip, and it is wet, causing a nice seal, and you put hot food on the plate, and if the counter is ever so slanted, it can cause the plate to move, the steam causing a hovercraft-like effect. However, the Redditor says that when they tried to recreate the situation under the exact same conditions, they never could get it to move like that. A few Redditors in the comments don't have an answer for the Redditor, but having visited the campus, acknowledged that the place made them uncomfortable and gave them the heebie-jeebies. Is it just the creepy history of the former institute that pushes us towards a paranormal explanation, or are former patients just hungry? A bizarre unknown creature sighting needs more attention because it's beyond creepy. Melly Sisu is watching the sun come up over a riverbank in Ormond Beach, Florida. Her moment of tranquility is replaced with fear when this comes floating her way.
I don't know what this is. That is a body or something. I don't know what that is.
She follows it along the riverbank for as long as possible before the current grows strong and takes the odd object. Melly describes it as having scales more like a snake than a fish, and also says she legitimately thought it was something from another planet when she first caught the creature on camera because of the huge size and weird shape.
I don't know what that is. It looks like an alien. Look at that. The camera won't focus. Oh my.
To her, this looks like the snout of a humanoid creature with rows of sharp teeth. I tried to find a picture of a similar fish in the area, but admittedly was unable to, and maybe it's just a reflection, but it looks like it could be much larger underwater. She says if this was a fish, then nobody has been able to show her a picture of what it is. Let's help her solve this mysterious unexplained video, because to be honest, I'm not sure what this mysterious figure is either. If none of us can figure out a better answer, then maybe we have to concede that a strange creature is in fact lurking around this region of Florida. Seva's Solutions is a health and lifestyle YouTube channel with a video that's going to creep out anyone eating an apple right now. For those of you who don't know, grocery stores actually will cover apples in literal wax to make them look shiny and therefore more appealing to buy. That means every time you bite into an apple, you're potentially eating wax. This YouTuber has created a method of getting the store wax off, and wait until you see what it looks like at the end. First, she jabs an apple and runs lemon juice around the outside to loosen the wax bond. After that, she pours boiling hot water over the apple to fully remove the substance. After a few minutes of turning and pouring, she is finally finished.
So as you can see, this is all of the just waxy stuff that came off of the apple. It's pretty gross when you think about that. That's what you consume when you just think you're eating a nice healthy apple.
This sludge at the bottom of the bowl is what the wax looks like once it comes off. Pretty gross, huh? It's definitely not something I want to eat. This video made me curious about organic apples, so I did some research, and yes, they have wax on them too. Apparently the wax has been made out of a special organic substance, but I would rather they not do this at all. Is this just a smudge in the window, or is this ghost watching you? Published by Korean channel Lonely Gang in July of 2019, this scary video was originally captured in August of 2013. The footage shows a cameraman walking alongside some abandoned buildings at night. The camera turns down an alleyway when up in the corner of the window on one of the buildings is a ghostly face staring at him.
작년 8월 19일 여름에 찍은 거죠. 부산의 모 흉가촌이죠, 흉가촌. 눈 동그란 총각이 저를 쳐다보고 있습니다. 흉가촌에서. 자, 저기 보이십니까?
A still shot of the window shows the creepy image up close, and it looks like a semi-transparent young man looking sideways out of the window. What is the identity of this ghost? Any guesses? All I can say is that whoever this is, it clearly wants people to stay far away from this building. Visit Louisiana and you might just run into a gator or two, or maybe 1,000. Published in January of 2011, Marvin Carter writes, "This is something you just don't see every day." Carter says this video was sent to him from the mouth of the Mississippi by one of his friends. What you're about to see will make your skin crawl. At first, the river looks normal with dozens of rocks jutting out of it, but when the camera zooms in, you realize those aren't rocks. Then, even more horrifyingly, this little speedboat starts its journey through the sea of alligators. They're all moving about, but the good news is, it looks like they're just trying to get out of the way, not start trouble. While many in the comments agree that this is terrifying, most also suggest that gators generally don't mess with you. Still, this scary video desperately needs an explanation, and commenter Canoeing the Edge of the World seems to have one. He writes, "For some reason, alligators just decide every once in a while to have a little get-together, and they bring the whole family. I think I'll skip this reunion." Ready to explore one of Ohio's most dangerous abandoned places? Neither am I. Let's leave it up to Urbex Dane, who published this urban exploration of Elderwood in August of 2017. According to Dane, this street is one of the most dangerous areas in this half-abandoned city. Willing to take the risk, he entered an empty building on the creepy abandoned Cleveland Street. While inside, a truck pulls up. The truck starts beeping and is playing music loudly. Still, Urbex continues exploring but peers out a second-story window to see who's there. It's not clear what this dude's purpose is. And that strangeness is turned up a notch when a group enters as Dane continues through the home. Unsure of what to do, he waits. Are these just more urban explorers? Or is something more nefarious going on? He creeps out into the hall, which is empty, as is the stairwell, and yet he doesn't leave. Instead, he heads upstairs. Down another stairwell, he hears this. That's where his battery runs out. Don't worry, he survived, but he doesn't know what was going on, or who these strangers were. Many are noting in the comments that this could very well have been dangerous, and he was lucky he got out of there alive. This abandoned prison castle was built in 1865, and was used to house all types of scary people. It was a transitory prison before sending prisoners to hard labor or exile. Now it apparently houses actual ghosts. Published by Toppy in November of 2021, these paranormal investigators went to visit the dark and mysterious place. Here is what they found. Outside, they walk around the wall where lives were ended. Then they head inside. The investigator notes that they say they've heard some coughing. Inside the cells, they listen but hear nothing.
Слышат кашель.
They come across strange windows, perhaps built for ventilation, lockable slots, likely to deliver food to the inmates. and a shower room. In one hallway, they find this figure, posed like a statue. We aren't sure what its story is, but it towers over the place like it's floating. At one point, a strange, unexplained noise is recorded as they're talking, and another sound is heard, like blowing on metal. They also hear a door bang at a distance. They say they feel like they're not alone here. Perhaps they aren't, but is their company alive or paranormal? What on earth is this creature? Nair BR writes of this bizarre sighting on camera. This strange creature got caught up in strong winds, and his wife was cleaning when it blew into the house. I was thinking it might be a territorial dispute between two insects, but as it unravels at 2 minutes and 25 seconds, it looks like one big creepy squirming oddity. The way it moves is unlike a snake or a worm or anything I've really seen before. It looks just as confused of us as we are of it, forming strange spiral shapes as it tumbles about, reaching out for something to grab onto. A host, perhaps. Whatever it is, it looks like something that crawls straight up your nose and takes over your brain. A parasite moving on to its next victim. Now that I've seen it, much like Nair BR, I want to know what on earth this creature is, and so I turn to you for an explanation. Paranormal activity was recently caught on video by this family in Pakistan, but I'm not sure if this is a poltergeist or just them throwing things around, so help me decide. Most of the objects come from the corner of the screen and could have been easily thrown by someone off camera. I'm not sure how they made the table come back after it was thrown against the wall, but it doesn't look that heavy, so maybe it was on a wire. I guess we'll never know for sure. This spooky midnight sighting is quickly becoming known as the ghost boy under the stairs. It could simply be a bug walking across the camera, but what's weird is how it seems to stay confined to the area under the steps. Then at 15 seconds, it reaches the farthest corner and vanishes. Take a look again and tell me if you think this is real or special effects. Even the person who uploaded this video says they didn't believe in the supernatural until seeing this at their job. A YouTuber named Leo Tran is challenged to throw a plastic bottle cap into a trash bag from across the room. At 1 minute into the video, you can see something is out of the ordinary, but at 1 minute and 23 seconds, you can see a small face pop up in the window. The small face stays in the window for approximately 33 seconds and ducks out of the way when Leo goes to collect the trash bag. Does this look real or edited to you? A YouTuber from San Antonio, Texas, named Dylan James TV records a deep moan that fills the night sky. Take a listen and give me your best guess as to what this mysterious noise could be.
I hope you can hear that.
After a while, it grows closer and louder until the sound breaks directly overhead, yet nothing is visible. What's especially strange is the comments for this video. Other people from as far as Florida admittedly claim to have heard this exact same noise. Apparently it happens for 5 minutes at a time, at which point it stops as abruptly as it began. A woman has a full-on break from reality while on public transportation. She carries a full conversation with herself, in some sort of laughing tone that only she can understand. Then she becomes absolutely overwhelmed with grief before snapping out of it. When someone approaches her to offer comfort, she switches back to laughter with a glare. The person wisely keeps their distance and does not come any closer. Next, the woman pulls out a dirty towel with stains and disappears into her own world, apparently laughing again. I really hope she gets the help she needs, because this seems like some sort of mental episode that needs to be treated fast. She and everyone around her are lucky that this didn't escalate to the point where someone had to physically intervene. This laboratory is said to be frequented by a spirit who is always near. Here you can see a door pull open by itself with no one standing on the other side. Just in case you were thinking someone could have opened it off camera, here's the same event from another angle, this time taken from the other side. No one is nearby, otherwise they would have cast a shadow on the wall, or else be visible in the reflection of the clean lab floor. Unless this door is controlled by a button we can't see, then there should be no way for it to open by itself. So what do you think? Is this real or just a staged video cooked up by a bored scientist at work? A YouTuber in Belgium has a ghost in the window, and when I say in the window, I mean literally.
Smell right though. Right. Go away. What is it? Go away.
He's not running his finger up the blinds because there's a heavy curtain in front of it. So tell me if you think a ghost is moving objects like he says.
No way.
Considering this is the only paranormal video he has, and the rest of his channel is about nothing but guitars, I think it could be real. A street cam video from Papua New Guinea has caught something really bizarre on tape that I wanted to get your opinion on. A pale apparition appears to form under a street signal, and what it does next leaves government workers speechless.
I'm not looking. No, look careful. I'm good.
This ghost sighting could be a trick of the light. You can see the headlights of an approaching vehicle at 12 seconds right when the ghost supposedly flies up into the air. What they think is a ghost could be an optical illusion caused by rays of light bending towards the camera on a rainy day. In the depths below, no one can hear you scream, but that's not the case when Redditor JTS4 went splunking in these Georgia caves. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor writes that their GoPro recorded screaming in the darkness that they never heard in person. Moreover, he says that the caves were very quiet, so quiet you can hear a pin drop. As other Redditors note, the distant scream heard literally sounds like one from a horror movie. It's clear in the clip that the Redditor didn't hear it, as he continues to navigate through the cave, talking nonchalantly to his audience. While most agree that this is super freaky, others suggest it might not be paranormal at all. Redditor Brule's Rules for Your Health writes, reminds me of a feral hog sound. They used to go in caves near my grandma's house and get trapped inside. Other suggestions include a mountain lion or a fox, while some think it could be a woman. The Redditor says the cave is popular, so who knows, but it still doesn't explain why they didn't hear it in person at the time. He also says they were very deep in the cave along an 8-mile stretch that hasn't been fully explored. Could this be the reason why? Do you take this ghost bride to be your lawfully wedded wife? I don't. Published by Thiago Ferracao in April of 2022. This ghost hunter encountered a phantom bride that was forcibly married to her husband in this haunted church. This is what happened. As they first enter the church, an unseen force slams the door shut and moves a wooden bench with great force, and then the fun begins. The bride is first seen as they are attempting to communicate with her using a spirit box. Watch the door carefully in the background. A pale figure passes slowly. The pair don't notice it.
Qual era o seu nome?
Later, as they're told to leave, they see the figure face to face. Once they're standing outside the church, the figure is seen standing at the altar. As Thiago walks toward the church doors, they're slammed shut in his face. After watching this scary video, would you say I do? Let me know in the comments. There's some terror to be had in this abandoned structure. Published by Terror El Extremo, this paranormal explorer first encounters these creepy bats hanging upside down like untransformed vampires. The ambiance is set now, and it grows as the cameraman comes across this piece of artwork painted on a stone wall. Is this divining what will come? When he continues to explore the area, suddenly he hears a scream. This is accompanied by what sounds like a blast or some other loud noise. Who is screaming out in this remote wilderness? And what was the sound that followed? Which one of us volunteers to wait around and find out? A tech-savvy phantom is entering the chat. YouTuber Amitav Paranormal Tech YT went live on his YouTube channel, and his REM pod activated. So he set up a security camera in the room at night. This is what happens. An invisible entity enters. And not long after this happens, a light turns on and off. This footage is creepy for sure, but is it paranormal? Or can it be explained? I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Amitav captures next. Can you imagine being a medical agent right now, forced to enter a lockdown territory? That's what this video apparently portrays. Posted by Spicy Rice Photography to the Scary subreddit. The video shows the agent entering a dark and deserted apartment block. His walkie-talkie apparently has gone dark on his end. You can hear other agents, but he doesn't speak into it.
Jerry, it seems our comms are broken, and I can't hear a word this session.
He opens the door to an empty bathroom. Nothing untoward there. Next, he opens the door to an empty room. All that's inside is what appears to be a square red mat on the floor. A light source spotlights the mat. As the agent continues to breathe laboriously in the darkness, correspondents are regularly heard on the walkie-talkies. Suddenly, the agent starts to panic even more.
Jerry, your heart rate is spiking again. Is there any way to let you know if you're okay? I'm not Terry.
His legs start moving and kicking, and in the darkness you can see why. The creepy figure of a girl with long black hair dressed in white is creeping toward him. As the agent tries desperately to move away, the girl only continues to slowly approach. The camera falls, white screening for a moment, only to capture one last shot of the girl in white, completely on top of him. While the agent may have been searching for survivors in the darkness, he probably regrets finding this one. Listed as creepypasta, this is still super creepy. History comes to life at this old stone church, and so do the spirits. Route X Paranormal Investigation calls this one of the best records of paranormal activity in a century-old stone church in the north-central part of the state of Rio de Janeiro. Soon enough, they come to the old stone church, but before they even arrive at the stone church, they spot something in the darkness. Their cameras don't capture what it is they're seeing. Soon enough, they come to the old stone church. Its creepy facade is enough to send you on your way. Inside, they find overgrowth, vines dangling, some seemingly suspended mid-air. Later, they stand before a small crucifix in a stone room. They speak to the spirits through a spirit box here.
Comunicar com a equipe. Vamos aqui, eu, Ed, tem a Márcia, o Wellington e o Marco.
One says that she's listening to them and that she is suffering. But the creepiest part is yet to come. As the cameraman stands far off, he captures a shadow figure shifting past the crew in the crucifix room. Is this the spirit they were speaking to? Or do they have multiple entities surrounding them? If you're playing hide and seek in the woods, expect to be sought by something sinister. Published by RexyBoy34 in September of 2009, this group was messing around in the woods when they realized they were not alone. The cameraman taking the video scans the ground in the surrounding woods, which look particularly eerie in the afternoon. As the camera pans toward his three friends, someone else is creeping behind them.
What the was that? Behind you. I'm being serious, there was something there. There was. I'm not, there was something there.
A figure in black appears for a moment over one of their shoulders. The cameraman calls attention to the figure, and they all turn around to look, but by the time they do, the figure has disappeared behind a tree in the distance. The group thinks he's kidding around, but I see the figure too. As they all watch the tree for a moment, the figure reappears and takes a stride toward them. We are left filled with screams and confusion. What is this figure after, and why is he stalking them? One of the most fearsome visions of a shadow person ever caught on camera. This clip will have any skeptic questioning things. Originally published by Ghosts of Carmel, Maine, this scary video was captured by its haunted homeowner. As the homeowner enters a bedroom, a full shadow figure is seen sitting on the bed, outlined by the light from the window. The man panics and steps out of the room for a moment. A split second later, when he returns, the figure has vanished. Are you convinced of the existence of shadow figures? I am. I have Al Qasimia of a ghost hunting channel called The Horror is looking for a phantom figure said to haunt this building in Israel. A ghost who is apparently quite eager to be caught on camera.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
He keeps hearing a sink drip even though no water is coming from the faucet because no water runs to the building.
في السماء بسم الله. بسم الله.
The ghost hunter also detects small movements in windowless rooms that are devoid of all life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
That's when something inside of him says that trouble is near, that he needs to check out the window.
You see anything?
A mysterious and shadowy figure is caught on camera, an apparition capable of powerful acts. Based on what happens next, the ghost hunter knows he's been marked by the jinn, but there is no time to get out of the way as the spirit seemingly teleports inside.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات.
The featureless shadow figure peers around the corner and the brave ghost hunter gives chase. When he rounds the corner, all traces of the paranormal entity are gone. If this is not paranormal, then I wonder how the ghost was able to disappear within seconds. There are no editing cuts that I can see. Two friends are walking around the haunted Matlock Cemetery in Iowa when they see something possibly watching them from afar, a white head that's barely visible behind a tree.
This is scary. You see that? Oh my god! What? Did you see that? What was that?
They aren't sure what it is until they go up to the tree. It was behind and get a closer look, or should I say it gets a closer look at them.
Oh my god! What was that? Oh!
Here it is again, a man wearing baggy clothes and a possibly white mask, though his face is too blurry to tell. I don't know if this was a maintenance worker, one of their friends, or a genuine creeper looking to do them harm, but I do think they made the right choice getting out of there, and I hope for their sakes they never went back. This unexplained shadow was uploaded by a paranormal ghost hunter named K. Owen. I think it could just be a fast-moving insect, especially since this was recorded on a summer night in the south, but according to Kate, this is the spirit of a poltergeist in Kentucky who eventually went on to become quite destructive. If Kay's story is to be believed, then this unexplained shadow is the spirit of a person who took a woman's life in this camper years ago. The deranged paranormal entity would eventually go on to destroy the camper by burning it down just 2 weeks into the paranormal investigation. A YouTuber called Wet Tent catches a poltergeist in action in his home. As evidenced by this slamming door, he shows that there is nobody on the other side, and then waits for it to happen again. It's creepy until you see his window is open, so it could be a breeze. And here at 13 seconds, you can see a tag on his covers move in the wind. I just wanted to show this video because I think that it could help explain other videos with slamming doors. Still, I would not totally discount this video. Wet Tent should make a new one with the window closed and see if it still happens. In this ghost investing collaboration, members of the Holy Walkers, Urban Ghost Urban Explorations, and 539 Productions team up to check out some abandoned properties in the woods at night. They are close friends, and so it becomes a lighthearted exploration full of laughs, but they do miss two things. One of them happens during a passing moment of silence.
You can see a Joe in his native environment.
I don't know what that is, but I do know it sounds large and close by, and during this exact moment appears two green eyes that look like they could be leaves at first, except they aren't touching the tree next to it, and they aren't pine needles like the rest. Believe it or not, this same face appears behind a screen window exactly 5 minutes and 10 seconds later, so I don't think they necessarily found a ghost, but something was probably out there with them, and if they ever return, they might be unlucky enough to find it again, and next time it might do more than just watch. Kevin Ramos is holding a paranormal investigation session at the Fort Delaware, which was in use from the mid-1800s to the mid-1900s. And is said to be ripe with spiritual activity even after being decommissioned well over 50 years ago. After a day of walking, they stop and ask a few questions to the spirits upon nightfall. Look what happens when they try to get to know more about the ghost of a person stationed here.
Did you like him? Can you cross the rods if you liked him?
First, a white apparition passes by, followed by a black shadow that one of them actually catches out of the corner of their eye. This isn't their reflection in the window, because none of them are walking, and in this exact moment, this person thinks they feel a tap on their shoulder, and shine a light behind them to make sure. It definitely looks like something was near them to say the very least. Why she didn't say something as soon as it happened is something I don't know. I guess they were too scared at the time. A reminder that you never know what or who is behind you. This short clip will have you looking over your shoulder. The video shows a man entering a small elevator. A ghostly woman enters slightly behind him. You can see her in the mirror, distracted on his phone. The man doesn't seem to notice he has company, but when he turns around, the woman has vanished. He is alone in the lift, or at least appears to be. Those in the comments are dying to know where the phantom stalker went, and whether or not this man made it out of the elevator. I hope he's alright, but it's really not looking like that's the case. This scary Randonautica is brought to you by YouTuber CJ Faison. While in Las Vegas, CJ ventured out to the random location he was sent to by the app. The Randonautica takes CJ and his crew into the middle of the desert, where they discover a photo of CJ taken with some female fans at the Mirage Hotel from 2014.
I'm literally shaking. I have chills up and down my body.
We've got nothing all day long.
Look at that.
We've been struggling. What is that? Yo! That's a picture of me!
Yeah.
CJ says that one of the girls in the photo is named Julia. Alongside the photo is a note that includes CJ's full name and some other personal information.
The dark-haired girl in the middle, I met her in 2000, and I believe it was 2013, when I was racing in NASCAR at Richmond International Speedway.
Nearby, they also discover a wallet with some random stuff in it, including a room key for the Luxor, which is where CJ is staying.
Makes sense because we're in Vegas. There's another Luxor room key.
Oh, I'm staying at the f***ing Luxor.
As they ponder this mystery in the desert, a couple of cars pass by and a girl shouts out at them, "Randonautica video, boys, come on." Is it Julia? A YouTuber recalls another video that CJ shot where he's reading texts about him from Aaron Valentino. The YouTuber notes that these texts mention the year 2014.
Very well that you have stumbled upon this phone. I know many things about you. I know that you wish you could change some things that happened to your life in 2014.
The same year listed on Julia's picture, as well as the quote that CJ read on the back of the photograph. The quote was, "The ones who aren't afraid control life itself," which is a quote from infamous Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. Yikes. Later, the crew notices something off in the distance, watching them.
Hold on, give me a sec. Let me zoom off first. It's right there.
Oh.
Person, can you record that for the video?
Did someone plant this stuff here? Is that someone watching the group across several Randonauticas from Pocomoke Forest in Maryland to the desert outside of Las Vegas, Nevada? Several YouTubers in the comments think this crew is being tracked or their phones have been hacked into. Perhaps these Randonauticas aren't so random after all. When you're babysitting, sometimes you feel like someone may be in the house, watching you. This TikTok video will have you double checking that all your doors are locked. The dude in the video, TikTok handle Tanner J. Shelton, claims that he just put the kids that he's babysitting down for the night when he heard laughter. It was 10:30 p.m. At first he was annoyed, as it was the third time he had to tell the kids to get to bed, as the noises were coming from the baby's room. He assumed the other kids had woken up to check on their sister, so he checked the baby monitor and he saw this. What is that in the top left corner? Looks like a hand reaching in the baby's crib. Redditor MXGIWiz writes on Reddit, after this video, the infant was kidnapped apparently. His caption was, "I'm never babysitting again." Though I think it would be on the news if that happened, and this man would certainly be a suspect, but that doesn't stop people from hypothesizing. Redditor MMocker98 adds some intrigue to this story, recounting that there's an even stranger video on this guy's YouTube channel. Mocker writes, "I believe the one with the woman, video number 5 I think, could possibly be fake, but what if it's not? What if this is all real? It's giving me this weird gut feeling, and I can't find too much information. You know what they say, always trust your gut. What is your gut telling you about this one?" According to NASA, the Apollo 20 spaceship never left the ground due to a lack of funding. This leaked video, however, says otherwise. Apparently, the mission was covered up after this strange structure was found on the surface of the moon. The leaked video is now referenced to as a moon base. Look closely and you'll see what appears to be an entrance ramp leading directly into the structure itself. It almost looks like some kind of vehicle is halfway up.
The North Triplet. Fairly Cook, North Triplet.
Let me know if you see the supposed entrance, and if you think that there is any possibility that this leaked video could be real. I think it is kind of a stretch, but I do see what they are talking about.
I know. That's actually so creepy. There's a guy right there, and I'm kind of freaked out, not gonna lie.
Blake Gray fears he's captured, something that would terrify all of us behind the dumpster of an abandoned building while exploring. His brave friend slowly creeps up. So obviously this was a skit that was pre-planned, right? Wrong. Let's analyze what they were wearing on the day they captured this mysterious figure. Ripped jeans, skinny jeans, blue jean shorts. The mysterious stranger is wearing khakis. So yeah, this creepy event is scary and most importantly could be real. The person is still alive, but to what degree is unknown. A twitch of the leg could mean asleep or barely alive. If this is real, then I hope they notified the proper authorities to come make sure whoever this is still alive. This intriguing footage was captured on a dash cam at around 7 p.m. Watch closely. As the car turns around, keep your eye on the front of the white van up ahead. Do you see that dark figure move behind it? Now watch the second floor stairway window as the driver pulls forward. Something is clearly peeking out at him. The shadow figure disappears as the car reverses, and you don't see it again. The strangest part was that during this camera freeze in the beginning, the YouTuber says he caught a glimpse of the shadow speed toward the stairway. This is actually what led him to check his camera footage. Is the shadow figure in both spots the same lurking entity? I think it just might be, and this shadow seems to move at the speed of light. What is hiding in this deep dark cave in Romania? This crew of adventure seekers is about to find out. Watch closely in the darkness.
Hai mă, cum de-acolo îmi bag pula. Da, mă, cum să te urci, mă? Ii, mă, ține camera, că mă... Astea sunt momente de nu se poate așa ceva. Cum să mă urmă pe casă pe ăla?
What is that lump? It looks like an animal sleeping.
Da, mă, te să vezi, n-ai nimic, ca echipament la tine. De ce să te ții?
Dă-i margine, mă, ce idei trebuie să... Ia, mă, ce... Uite-te sus, uitați-o sus, mă.
The guys appear scared of the mysterious creature, and they start to make their way out of the cave. Their camera goes berserk.
Ai, lei și ce mare, frate. Hai de pula mea.
Did they just escape from the cave creature of Romania Borsec? Personally, I think this was just a trick of the light, but I still get the chills from this clip. I'm staying far away from caves either way. This short clip was taken at an unidentified prison that is most likely abandoned. This is an actual creature coming out of the darkness, or are the shadows just playing tricks on you? I will say that there are signs of editing. The dust is swirling a lot faster than normal, which makes me believe that this footage was sped up. It could have been a normal person dressed in all black, quietly walking up and then backing away, which would look very paranormal when sped up like that. Maybe the video was sped up for some other reason and is in fact real. A strange white mist in a messy living room in San Francisco has the YouTube community crying paranormal. Whatever this is, it seems like it heads into the light and then abruptly disappears. I've seen a lot of paranormal CCTV videos, and I've never seen anything that looks or moves like this before. It can't be dust because it has two separate parts that move as one. So tell me what you think this is, a real ghost or something else completely different. A person is paying their respects in the cemetery when a haunted figure emerges behind them. Look closely, and at 20 seconds you can see the specter lean forward and reach out for him before pulling back and withdrawing into the woods. If this is not edited, then it almost looks like the spirit is trying to provide some kind of comfort to someone who is mourning their loss, or maybe they are attempting a possession. It's hard to say which. After a while, the mysterious figure loses shape and completely fades away into a shapeless mist. Real paranormal ghost sighting in the cemetery, or just computer-generated effects, you tell me. A YouTuber named Shannon Griffin recorded this short scene as part of an amateur film he was working on. One of his friends, Rachel, goes into the alley and the scene ends. It seems simple enough, but look at the bottom left for a weird surprise. The swaying shadow is not supposed to be part of the shot. Later, when Shannon was editing the footage, he was terrified by the strange discovery because nobody was standing off camera there. It's not a tree in the wind because these plants in the foreground don't move at all, while this shadow figure sways wildly. The only explanation I have, assuming that they are telling the truth to begin with, is maybe some nosy neighbor was watching them from a window and cast their shadow on the sidewalk below, but the way the shadow moves is so odd that I don't think this is it at all, so maybe it was paranormal. A YouTube channel called Proper Good Games is streaming Pokemon. When a game goes flying across the room off camera,
I thought when people ate quail, it was like eating a fancy.
they are both looking at each other and not moving at all when it happens, so it could not have been them. Then what she says next makes me feel like this happens all of the time. Do you believe her?
I'm not lying when I say ghost follow me around, right?
And when he goes to pick up the game, he lets out a gasp as the temperature into this part of the room suddenly grows very cold. Again, is this real or just good acting?
Oh, it's really cold weather.
Sure, it actually is.
A janitor is closing up a restaurant in San Francisco called The Chapel, which is said to be haunted by the ghost of a small girl. As soon as he is done locking the door, something tries to leave and then runs away. If she was afraid of getting locked in, why didn't she bang on the door to be let out? Also, how come she didn't say anything when all of the lights turned off? On the contrary, if this was instead a real person trying to sneak in, then she probably wouldn't immediately try to open the door because it could set off an alarm. I guess she could just be making sure the janitor really is leaving. But since this restaurant is said to be haunted by the ghost of a small girl, I believe this could be her. There's nothing more terrifying than what you cannot see. Posted to the oddly terrifying subreddit, this scary video shows a drive along a highway at around 5:30 at night in December of 2021. After a moment, a storm bursts into view via multiple lightning strikes. And then on the horizon you see it, a black funnel twisting ahead. The tornado appears to be straight on in the direction this car is driving. As the lightning continues to flash, the twister is moving off to the left and growing larger as the car approaches it. Many in the comments are wondering why the car continues to drive toward it. Notice the raindrops on the windshield. They're moving horizontally toward the twister. When this happens, as Redditor Ballpen Dodger notes, you're too close. And when you're facing a tornado like this, that is the last place you'd want to be. What would you do if you saw this floating over your neighborhood? Shared by YouTuber EXTV, this video is trending in the Brazilian-speaking YouTube community. It looks like a scene straight out of Netflix's Stranger Things. In fact, it is. But it's not what it seems. When I dug into its origins, I found the freaky floating figure featured on CBS Chicago's news channel. But how did they get her to float? The TikToker @HorrorProps, who's responsible for the epic Halloween display, just shared how they did it only days ago. It appears to be a wire connected to a telephone pole. Well, I gotta say, that is certainly a crafty way to pull off something like this. Nevertheless, if I saw this while walking down the street, I would still be terrified. This mysterious creature sighting is rumored to have been caught on the cell phone camera of a farmer somewhere in India who kept hearing scary noises coming from the woods nearby. When he goes to the edge of the forest, all he can hear is crickets. But it's not because he's alone. Far from it. It's because the mysterious creature is silently waiting not too far away. This could be a Wendigo, a skinwalker, or some other creature that's unknown. Assuming that this is not computer effects, I have little doubt that the creature would have descended upon the farmer from the treetops had he not spotted it with his cell phone camera first. At 49 seconds, its mouth is wide open, and it looks ready to pounce. A supposedly real ghost sighting was caught on dashcam video by VBO Life while exploring one of the most haunted places in Delhi. It happens fast, so watch closely or you'll miss the scary stuff. An apparition appears in front of them and they get freaked out, or so it seems. Slow it down and at 8 minutes and 22 seconds you'll see the spirit is supposed to be in front of the car, but the very bottom of its dress accidentally clips into the hood. So while this video's creepy, I can also safely say it's not real. A YouTuber named Jack Wagon has many videos demonstrating his apparent ability to manipulate objects using nothing but his own energy force. Here, he circles his hands over a lock while concentrating deeply. It isn't long before he gets results. Not only is Jack able to push the lock over without touching, he is also somehow able to keep it balanced at a weird angle for almost 10 full seconds before falling. The only explanation I have for this is if there was some kind of magnet underneath the table, which I guess is possible. Next, Jack takes a steel fork in both hands and envisions the utensil becoming soft like butter. He ties the fork in a knot with his bare hands in a few simple twists. I'm honestly not sure how hard this really is to do, but it sure looks difficult to me. I'd really like for someone to tell me if this is a real display of energy manipulation or just some kind of trick. 3 masked men attempt a daring heist in Sydney, Australia at the Miller Shopping Centre. They are in the middle of taking jewels when literally everyone in the store decides they are not going to take this, and soon the men find themselves running for their lives. Customers and staff join together and chase the men out of the mall. Not even the fact one of the masked men is holding a sledgehammer is enough to hold back the angry vigilante mob. The 3 masked men flee into a red van and speed away with the mob close behind. With so many similar instances caught on video, it's quite a surprise to see everyone join in to chase off the robbers for once. A YouTuber named Exploring with Perks is checking out an old abandoned home with one of the creepiest basements he has ever seen. Possible remains rest outside of an old hole in the wall, with the rest of the body possibly on the other side. And later on, he finds the remnants of what I hope is just a stuffed animal. Then he gets out fast. I can't say I blame him.
There's something over here. Moving around.
This was the moment when a YouTuber named Mixed Breed Entertainment gasped in surprise. And turned around because he thinks that he felt the presence of a ghost so near. That's not enough evidence to prove this basement is haunted, but what happens next certainly is.
Try something real quick.
Is there anyone here?
The stuffed animal falls over when a ghost is asked to move an object.
Did the teddy bear just move? What the is that?
Then a ghost orb is caught on camera seemingly coming out of the toy itself.
It just got really what the
Okay, so the toy could fall and a particle of dust could fly over it, I suppose. But when the same thing happens a second time, coincidences go out the window. Paranormal is what I think this is.
Can you move it again? Oh.
Sure enough, there's another orb when this happens. The Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany, New York is weird, really weird. So weird that it's classified as a paranormal research center now for ghost hunters. Liam Neville is exploring the haunted asylum when something strange and maybe paranormal catches his attention. This is what he's caught on camera and what's been haunting his memories ever since.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody down here. There's a light coming from that. Must be a light down there. Whoa, yo.
Played in slow motion, and you'll see that his flashlight is off when they see the mysterious light in the hall. Liam and his friend are simultaneously frozen in place with fear and ecstatic.
I saw a figure at the end of the hallway.
So did I. Oh
wow.
My.
I definitely saw that.
Yo, you saw that?
Yeah.
They claim to see a shadow figure in the hallway, and I think I might see it. 59 seconds into the video. What do you think?
Yo.
A paranormal investigator known only as Survivor is on his way to go exploring an abandoned haunted cottage. On the outskirts of town, 1 o'clock in the morning is when he sees, in his words, a strange grandmother on an abandoned road. There is no reason for anybody to be walking miles from town so late at night, let alone a senior, so he pulls over to see if she needs any help. To his surprise, the woman who was just there moments ago has mysteriously disappeared. He has a really bad feeling, so he pulls over at the side of the road. What he finds next has him wondering if this was a real ghost sighting caught on video. He finds nothing but an old tattered cloth where the woman was last sighted. It looks like it could just be a piece of roadside trash like a tarp or something. Take another look. Was this item really what her ghost was wearing? A team of ghost investigators patrol through a dark farmhouse at 3 a.m. and set up their equipment. Suddenly their thoughts are interrupted by an overwhelmingly powerful force.
Over here
to jump up there.
What's that?
What was that?
An adjacent door flies open soon as they shine their flashlight up into the attic. The team feels like they are being watched from something outside. They're talking about what to do next when they witness another display of brute force.
And we get to experience an EVP session in a creepy abandoned house. And
something smashes the window out and they see what appears to be a white apparition slowly walking away. The object has no distinct shape and somehow seems to be both near and far at the same time.
what the was that? Holy shit! Somebody out there!
All of them scramble to the car and take one last look as they leave. It's really hard to see, but zoom in on the window and you'll see a head move away on the left side. Let me know if you see what I mean or not. Going to medical school presents many challenges, high tuition, debt, and the occasional wild animal encounter. If you were coming up the steps and saw a Black Panther animal barreling at you, you would almost certainly run. Big mistake. It's already in motion and your panic would trigger its instincts. You're not getting far. The panther starts to go into someone's room, but something makes it think twice about going in. It probably doesn't like being cornered with one exit and chooses not to go further inside. The college in Karnataka, India went into lockdown as a result of this scary CCTV video. Yeah, I guess that would do it. I should point out that this isn't all that uncommon in schools across India, and I found some other creepy videos too. Here's a leopard at a college in Nainital. Thankfully, the only prey he finds is a car passing by, but imagine a college student looking at their feet walking along this fence. They'd never see it coming. I just hope everybody's alright. Paranormal investigator Rochelle G goes exploring this haunted abandoned house and experiences what she calls decades of anger. Built in 1920, this place could never keep a family for more than a few years before something terrible happened to them. Police were always involved. Something about this house makes people upset, volatile. The longer they stay here, the worse it gets. Rochelle can feel the paranormal energy as soon as she sets foot within this haunted place. Abandoned are the families, but not their memories or their presence. She finds a room that's creepier than the others, one that's been barricaded from the inside. Listen closely. What you're about to hear is one of the scariest EVPs ever caught on camera. Somebody has pushed a dresser under the knob of this door, like they wanted to keep a family member from coming in to get them. When Rochelle opens the door, a creepy, disembodied voice floats in her ear and whispers, "Hey." This room looks like a remodeled front porch that was only halfway finished before the family vacated. Above her is an unfinished attic space that makes many people feel creeped out. There's no way to get up there, so she keeps exploring this room and finds more creepy things caught on camera. Dozens of family photos next to an old blue chair. Leaving family photos is weird enough, but why in a giant unorganized pile? It looks like somebody thumbed through them, one by one, while sitting on the chair, perhaps looking at pictures of their family members one last time, while waiting for the police to arrive. It's a creepy thought and we'll never know the real explanation, and when Rochelle tries to communicate, the spirits are too angry to cooperate.
Do you need help?
If this video is real, and I think it is, then this is one haunted abandoned house that should have stayed hidden. I doubt anything good happens to those who dare go exploring its hateful walls. Alex Griffin runs a sports channel nowadays, but years ago he was briefly into conducting paranormal investigations at the most haunted places he could find. One such foray was the exploration of Borley Church, a place where organs are said to play by themselves and chanting can be heard from inside. There's also the ghost of Katie Borham, a housemaid who was said to have lost her life under mysterious circumstances that could have involved unknowingly ingesting toxic chemicals. Katie is the ghost they are hunting tonight, and so Alex Griffin and his friends logically start exploring the old haunted cemetery for paranormal evidence. They make the mistake of disrespecting her name along the way, and start hearing some scary noises soon after.
Shut up, Katie. Katie. What the What the
The amateur investigators run away at first, but soon agree that they can't leave the mystery unsolved and need to find more paranormal evidence. They return to the cemetery and the bravest of them steps forward to taunt Katie into showing herself.
Say, what happened again?
So I didn't see anything, but he senses a ghost and I tend to believe him. After all, he was the one trying to impress his friends the hardest, so I don't think he'd run away like that and risk embarrassing himself unless he was really scared. The paranormal investigators step forward as one, and a single light glows in the woods even when their camera is not shining on it. It's not exactly the best paranormal evidence ever recorded, but the timing is definitely odd and makes you wonder what this light could be. And with their backs turned, the noise returns.
Anywhere else? Yeah. You get just lights on me.
It sounds like one of them would have thrown a rock or something and hits the top of the tin roof. But then again, this is exactly the kind of paranormal activity that this place is known for. It's years later and not one of them stepped forward to take credit for throwing a rock and scaring the group, so maybe this supposed paranormal activity is real after all. The next time you gaze up into the serene night sky, you might experience a feeling of panic instead of peace. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by After Performance 2. The Redditor explains that these strange lights were seen in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year on July 19th. The lights were grouped in threes, and according to the Redditor, some disappeared before she could capture them on video. The video shows a trio of lights floating overhead in the sky, and a moment later, another trio closer to the horizon off in the distance. The sets of lights don't float in strict formation, but seem to each be wavering at their own pace. They then flicker and disappear. Redditor Professional Truck 3 suggests that these were paper lanterns lit and then launched from the beach, but the 70s Kids negates that, saying if these were lanterns, they'd drift apart. Well, some say the wind is obviously taking the lanterns in the same direction. After Performance 2 theorizes that they're all going to the same destination. Another Redditor, Buster Blevins, chimes in proposing that this is not necessarily a unique occurrence. He wrote, "Last Friday, a bunch of people saw something very similar to this in northern Wisconsin. The lights would appear in groups of 3, and it was as if there was a pattern that looked like the light was traveling in a circle around something." Any other theories as to what these strange lights could be? A large, lonesome mansion seems like the perfect place for a channel called Abandoned World Explorer to do its thing, but they seem to miss the questionable red stain seen here at the 8-minute and 11-second mark as they tentatively test the floor to make sure they don't fall through. Most of the house looks run down, but they come across a creepy entrance that you will have to crouch down to get into. The passageway goes on for 3 full minutes until they find an even more foreboding staircase descending deeper. It looks like the steps could break away or something could reach out from below. The very bottom floor feels extremely off and wrong. He's poking around when something grabs his attention from behind.
Hello?
This odd area of the house personally gives me the feeling that someone was kept here away from the rest of the family, though I don't know why. He understandably leaves before he gets a chance to investigate what was possibly down there with him. A person in Ukraine was filming a calm river one evening just in time to capture a humanoid-looking creature cross underneath of a bridge using all fours. As the footage shows, something is grabbing onto the underside of a bridge and silently making its way across. Exactly what the creature is remains a debate online to this day. Some people have pointed out that this could be a human, but others have noticed how its legs and arms appear to be the exact same length. It almost looks like it could be an animal, but I'm not aware of any animal from this region that likes to hang upside down from bridges. Besides, if someone had to go underneath a bridge like that for whatever reason, then they would either hang from their arms or else hug the bridge tightly while creeping across. This thing, on the other hand, just swings across the bottom like it's no big deal. Human or not, this thing definitely has a very bizarre center of gravity as it moves. Have you checked your home security cameras? You'll want to after seeing this video. Published to the Chills Narrator subreddit by SirPenguin09, the Redditor explains that everyone was at the hospital visiting his cousin on June 22nd. No one was home, but when they checked their security footage, this is what they found. The clip shows a blur of something walking past. While the visual isn't clear, it's definitely a human figure. Sir Penguin goes on to say all doors were locked, all windows were safeguarded, and that no other security cameras around the house caught any movement. So if this is a person, how did he get in? And if not, how will this Redditor get him out? Many in the comments are just as perplexed as Sir Penguin, but Redditor 2low40 sums it up best, writing, "Ghosts are home invader. The thought of whatever this is walking through your home is absolutely terrifying. Beware of randos crossing the road at night, especially if they look like they've just escaped an asylum." Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, this creepy clip was discovered on YouTube and originally posted in May of 2020. A couple of men are driving down a highway near Riga one night when they slow down for a stray individual to cross the road. It's not clear if the person is a man or woman. Whatever the case, they've got long dark hair and are only wearing a large oversized white shirt. The pedestrian slowly starts to cross as the men pull to a stop, but the stranger stops halfway and turns around to face the vehicle head on. For a moment they stand there before heading again on their way. Those in the comments are flabbergasted as the driver from the video, with some saying that's obviously a witch, while Sony Bravo adds, "I was expecting her to lash out, to be honest." Talk about an anticlimactic ending. This Saudi Arabian YouTuber decided to do some urban exploring in 2018. The property looks long abandoned, and they are forced to explore only by flashlight. Despite the creepy feel of the place from the very start, the men brave it out and continue exploring. It starts to appear as though the men are being watched, and on multiple occasions they check their surroundings to make sure they are all alone. It turns out their instincts are correct, as they capture what they claim is a witch. It definitely appears to be someone dressed in all black robes, with their face fully covered. I believe someone might have actually been living on the property, and they wanted to scare them away. Or do you think the YouTuber was correct, and this was an actual witch? How would you spend 30 minutes alone in an abandoned cartel hotel? This video, posted by Southern Afterlife Paranormal TV in January of 2020, puts truth or dare to the test. When Josh and Todd take a half hour to themselves in the abandoned hotel at 3 a.m., the Alone Challenge saw the two partners split up in the highly graffitied abandoned hotel, terrifying themselves with unsettling noises and even more unsettling feelings. At 2 minutes 13 seconds, a viewer points out that it appears someone is standing in the doorway at the end of the hall. When Josh flashes his light, at around 3 minutes 48 seconds, a scary sound is heard, almost like a cabinet being shut.
I don't know what that was.
At around 5 minutes 40 seconds, Josh finds an upside down cross that's wet. He believes from the cold and dampness of the hotel. At around 14 minutes, he believes he smells fresh paint. Maybe some invisible graffiti artist is there to touch up their artwork. Most in the comments agree this place has an awful and uber creepy atmosphere. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, live people could be lurking around any corner. Don't know if I'd want to run into either in this nightmare hotel. There's an eerie sound coming from the Golden Gate Bridge that is making people lose their minds. A constant haunting hum that can be heard from miles away. Try to guess what it is. Between the red rails is where the mysterious noise is coming from, and as it turns out, this is from a mistake in a recent redesign of the bridge. The new rails were mistakenly spaced apart just enough to let the wind come screeching through at an unbearable volume. It happened in June of 2020, and as of the time of this video, I was unable to find any evidence that it's been fixed. Strange things have been happening in this guy's house, which he says seem demonic. Published by Cayman Poe in May of 2011, he and his friends are up at 1 in the morning, waiting to see if anything unusual happens. After a time, they hear something from outside the room. They go downstairs to check it out but find nothing.
Hello?
But after heading back to their room, they hear another sound, this one louder than the last. They return downstairs and notice that the bathroom door is now closed. When they tell the demon to show himself or reveal that he's there, he does. They race back upstairs while considering calling the cops, but when they hear the demon again,
Hello?
that here to.
They are lured downstairs. The door is open. This time, the demon doesn't wait for them.
To the left.
Officially shuttered since 1987, it was just announced in February that this century-old building will soon be demolished. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Ryan McCullister and originally published to a YouTube channel of the same name, this paranormal team is making one last visit to the old Three Rivers Hospital in Michigan. As they make their way through a doorway, a creepy baby voice is heard in the background.
Hey, blue cheese. Yeah, nah.
That smiley face down there.
That's crazy.
To make it, there you go.
Ew, look at all how dirty the air is out there.
Many in the comments think it's not a baby but a cat. Others think it sounds like the lens focusing. But several Redditors agree that it sounds like a baby. Sparkling Duckling writes, those smiling graffiti faces. Artists tried to stop the ghost baby from crying. Unsuccessfully. I think the biggest question now is what's going to happen to all these spirits after this building is demolished. While exploring a spooky abandoned cellar, these ghost hunters face something more fearsome than ghosts. Published by Scary Labs in August of 2021, this scary video shows the crew investigating several dark bricked rooms. The cameraman scans one room that appears to be empty, then he turns to his colleague, who is directing her camera toward another room, asking the spirits to come forward. When the spirits refuse to answer, the cameraman turns back toward the previously empty room, only it's not empty anymore. Black cloak, black hair, pale skin. What was this thing? I'm guessing Professor Snape, but the crew didn't stick around long enough to find out. It's not fun in games anymore when something like this happens. Posted to the Very Spooky Video subreddit by AdamGray59. The Redditor is wondering if this is poltergeist activity. In the video, some gamers are playing Call of Duty, and the gamer on screen appears to have gone for a bathroom or snack break. His chair is empty, or maybe it isn't. The chair starts swiveling quietly around. Of course, this unnerves the player on the opposite side of the screen. Is a ghost occupying this chair? Redditor TommyMCY in the comments says, it's a gamer ghost. While others are more skeptical, saying things like chairs simply do that on their own. So, gamer ghost or just an off-kilter chair? I'd like to think a ghost was at the controls. There's only one thing scarier than a ghost sighting. A ghost sighting you. That's what Garmets1 claimed to have caught on video in a churchyard in Estholt, United Kingdom. The footage opens on a shot of a church. After panning down, the distinct figure of a girl peering around the corner of the building comes into view. She quickly darts back and out of sight, and when pursued has disappeared into thin air. The shot pans back to the corner, up the building and around, but the ghost girl is nowhere in sight. Whether you're a believer in the paranormal or a skeptic, this video will make you look twice. Strange and mysterious activity was caught on a home security camera when an orb of light spills into 3 different directions and promptly disappears, soon materializing into a stranger who crosses onto their property while in a transparent state.
Push.
The home CCTV system has multiple cameras, and for 2 minutes they watch the stranger mysteriously disappear and come back numerous times.
On n'a pas fait.
At 37 seconds, when it looks like it's gone, they zoom in to find a large orb with smaller orbs mysteriously floating away. Soon, the see-through outline of the stranger is caught on camera once again. According to the description of this creepy video, the human-like apparition appears to be walking down some train tracks, possibly haunting the very same place where his life was lost. After a while, the figure crosses their security camera, its lights go out, and the family has a fearful reaction as it disappears from sight once and for all. I think this could be a real ghost video and not a glitch because it never freezes, compresses, or shows any obvious visual artifacts. A creepy sighting of a large unknown creature is probably one of the scariest things to be found in the forest in quite some time. The camera slowly focuses on a figure with strikingly hideous humanoid features, on an oversized head underneath hunched over shoulders. It easily clears a tall balcony covered in ivy as it straightens up and glares at the camera, its mouth gnashing. The edge of the dark woods at its back. Notice as it runs how the rest of it looks like a monster. It doesn't look like a person in a mask. If this is a costume, it's an expensive one that goes all the way to the ground. The uploader of this video claims that this is a sighting of the infamous Dogman of Michigan, a humanoid creature who is said to have been roaming the woods for years. If so, then this is the closest anyone has ever gotten to it before. But with that said, the quality of this video would suggest that it's either very old or has been edited. I can't tell which it is, so maybe you can help me decide. When you enter an abandoned building, you don't expect to find a fully functioning service room inside, but that's what YouTuber Shy found in February of 2018. The footage begins at the top of a tower in an industrial-looking area. He then enters the building. The place is obviously abandoned, with no soul in sight, an empty auditorium, a lonely ping pong table, and then descending to the cold dark basement, which is where he finds the service room in question. Picking up the phone, although he doesn't hear a dial tone, he does receive the tone indicating the phone has been disconnected. Also inside are loads of hardware and servers, blinking lights flashing and all. Next, he happens upon an old computer, which he plugs in. Pushing the button on the tower, the modem turns on. Windows 95 appears, then a black screen with code. A username password screen appears. After attempting to enter something, Shy is told by his live streamers to hit cancel, which he does. He is then allowed to enter. After exploring the computer's contents for a bit, Shy decides to unplug the computer and gets out of there, muttering about a potential secret government project. Was Shy on the right track? Did he just tap into something top secret? I guess we will never know what were on those computers, unless Shy decides to go back and investigate further. I am looking for more information about this scary video because I could not find the brave ghost hunter who caught all of this paranormal evidence on camera. This house has a dangerous djinn inside, a spirit bent on scaring the ghost hunter away. The door seems too far away for him to be opening it with his foot. Later, a bucket on the floor mysteriously moves all by itself seconds later, and when he looks up, this shadow figure is caught in the light of his camera, and when he turns around, nothing is there, but the carpet flutters as if a stampede is coming through. I don't see how they are faking this part, so I am inclined to believe this might be real paranormal activity caught on tape. This paranormal activity was caught on a camera that's displaying an incorrect time. A YouTuber named For Your Viewing Pleasure thinks they have caught a ghost on video sometime around 3 a.m., not 1:24 like the camera says. Regardless, some creepy moments have been caught on tape as their home CCTV system plays back a bizarre ghost-like in front of the camera. Another thing that's weird besides the ghost is how the background goes totally black for 6 seconds and then even stays black for 1 second after the ghost is no longer caught on tape. For your viewing pleasure says they hope this is a bug, even though they think it's probably paranormal. One person suggested that he has not caught a ghost sighting on video, but a moth instead. These creepy moments caught on camera from 2 to 4 seconds do look like possible wings in motion when slowed down, but I'm not sure what to think. Both sides have good arguments, so take one final look and tell me if this looks like a paranormal security video to you or not. Posted by Footage Finder 57 to the Found Footage subreddit, you'll probably rethink your next camping trip after watching this piece of found footage. A group of people are hanging out around a campfire watching videos on a big screen and chatting. One of them notes that their friend Alexis went to the bathroom and has been gone for a very long time. They decide to investigate. As they're walking through the forest, a scream pierces the night. They start running towards it, shouting out her name. In the middle of the forest, they come across a strange teepee made of logs. When they peer inside, there's a person tied to a tree stump. And then, whatever four-armed or legged creature has captured Alexis comes after them too. The group screams. The camera is dropped and no more is heard. Redditor Tribal Transfusion 311 pulled a still shot of the creature. This is what we're dealing with. Although the origins of the video are unknown, this found footage is certainly one of the best quality if faked, and one of the most terrifying if not. A YouTube channel called The Proper People Vlogs is documenting their urban exploration trip to check out an abandoned power plant. This is the exact moment they knew they were in trouble. Tell me what you would have done in this situation. Run or stay.
There's a person? There's a person. Should we talk to them? Should we talk?
I probably would stay because running would only get you in more trouble. Anyway, at first it looks like they are trying to walk away, so I guess they were kind of panicking. But then they turn back around to have their translator talk it out rather than escape. As it turns out, this is security and they are not happy at all. Try and translate if you can, because they are about to get in so much trouble that their translator just says they should leave.
This does not seem good.
Based on what I've seen, it's a good thing that they get out of here fast, because I doubt the authorities in this country would have taken kindly to tourist trespassers. Nevertheless, I'm glad they got out of there safe. This 4-part TikTok series is a journey. Posted by Breadcrumb and Beaver's Pit, the TikToker was working her shift when she spotted something creepy between a crack in the ceiling tiles. It looks like an old man's face or a shrunken head.
I was staring at my ceiling right at work, and then I see this light right, and I go over here.
In the second video, the TikToker reveals the outside of this building. She says part of the building was a school from the 1920s. She enters the kitchen. The face thing is still exactly where it was last time. Seemingly peering through the cracks, she tries to lift the ceiling tile using a broom. At this point, she thinks it's either insulation or a rope.
Here's the legendary area. Still there. Chilling. The villain. Learning.
Next video sees her climbing up a stepladder to investigate. After lifting the tile, you don't really see the face thing, but you do see that there's a whole other room up there. In the last video, the mystery is solved. Lifting the ceiling tile, you can see what the object is. As the OP suggested earlier, a rope. What was it used for? The OP's theory is an old school bell, although you may think the saga is over. Some in the comments are seeing and hearing new mysteries. One hears something crying in this last clip, and some even claim to see a new person peering down at her. I am not personally seeing or hearing any of that, so we'll just stick with the rope. Mystery solved. A father and son are bonding outdoors when they make a discovery in a puddle that's so bizarre they have to bring it home and make a video of what they've caught on camera.
So I kind of looked at the little creatures that were in there, and at first glance they're round and have a tail just like a tadpole.
The mysterious creatures have a long tail and 2 eyes that are especially visible at 1 minute and 22 seconds. Baby horseshoe crabs were my guess, but when I googled a picture it looked different. So what do you think they are? An unexplained ghost sighting caught on camera by Chris Allen looks real enough to have me beyond creeped out. It looks like something small is underneath, or scarier still, someone, a ghost, is running their hand along the covers.
Where you at? I don't see you. There you are. What are you doing? Yo, this is so creepy.
It looks paranormal, but I am suspicious because he never looks underneath to verify nothing's there.
My feet are over here. Both of them. Look, both of my feet. This is not my feet. There's nobody in this bed. Yo, I'm getting out of the bed.
I really hope this is like a pet mouse or something, or else his bedroom is definitely haunted. A person thinks they see something strange dash in front of their car late at night on a dark road. A playback of the tape has their suspicions confirmed by a totally bizarre dash cam encounter caught on video. A fleeting figure standing under a street lamp runs out and disappears way too fast to be a human. He claims this video is unexplainable paranormal evidence, but I suspect it might simply be a trick of the light, not exactly a lens flare per se, because there's no sunlight to reflect. Or maybe that is the right term, but you know what I mean. Basically a ray of light bending towards him to create the illusion of a phantom ghost. So while there is definitely a light anomaly, I'm not exactly sure it's paranormal. Tell me what you think he's caught on tape, because it might be a reflection and nothing more. A ghost sighting in Jacksonville, Florida, leaves one man certain he has evidence of the paranormal.
It's not a tree.
A strangely human-shaped figure emits a strange glow. It could be pretty much anything from this far away. Approaching headlights against a tree comes to mind, but he's adamant that it's not a tree. He's too scared to drive any closer, so the video ends. I can't be the only one who wishes he would have gotten closer, but I understand why he wanted to get the heck out of there. 99% of us would have done the same, and if not, then I guess you're braver than most. A YouTube channel called Exploring with Fighters travels to the same tunnel system as Dark Arts TV. He is explaining his nervous anticipation when a loud scrape occurs directly over his shoulder. No one is near him. You can tell by everyone's distant chatter that they are pretty far away. Listen for yourself and tell me if you agree no one else was nearby. At least no one alive.
This video is going to be far.
They all get a really bad feeling upon discovering what could be fragments of human. Look at this part and tell me if he is tossing a part of someone's jaw or just a random piece of debris. I was wondering if these could belong to an animal, but then they discover a large collection of combs left over top. Like this one, for example. So I think we may have sadly found our answer. They are ready to leave before they come across any other horrible discoveries, but something follows them. This extremely creepy low laugh follows them on their way out, while the rest of the audio remains the same. In fact, what's especially scary is how one of these girls lets out a small chuckle shortly before this noise comes out.
People like call the fire game. Hi, so right now, look, I won't be scared of spiders.
Almost as if it's laughing in response. Listen for yourself and tell me if you think this is edited or not. What you are witnessing is rare underwater footage of a ningen, a gigantic sea creature apparently first spotted by Pacific fishermen sometime in the 90s. The name literally means human, and that's because they tend to have a round head along with 4 limbs and a skinny torso. The creature is about the size of a submarine, but looks rubbery and boneless. It appears to be mostly carried by ocean currents and has a limited control over its directional course. Since ningen sightings are so new, not much is known about these creatures aside from it having a preference for Arctic waters and a nocturnal sleep schedule. There's rumors about various government officials suppressing information from the public, so there's no telling what new ningen footage will leak in upcoming years. It really makes you wonder what other humanoid monsters are possibly being hidden from the world's eye. Amateur footage was shot somewhere in an underground sewage system. The cameraman is presumably a maintenance worker who is wearing a chest cam. Little did he expect to find a humanoid down there with him. The video begins with the cameraman seemingly frozen in place. The camera is very still, as if the maintenance worker is too afraid to move. Maybe he heard a noise and is waiting for a creature to reveal itself. Suddenly, a pair of floating eyes peer at him from the distance. The eyes appear to belong to some sort of nocturnal predator. They reflect so much light that all you can see are 2 gigantic white dots that are roughly as wide around as flashlights. The humanoid does not appear to have much experience with humans and seems apprehensive as it peers around the corner. It decides to run away and the cheap camera cuts out before we can see any more of the chase. The creature seems incredibly fast and probably got away, but exactly what happened next is anyone's guess. The video footage survived, so the cameraman probably did as well. Then again, maybe they recovered it from his dead body instead. There's just not enough information out there to say for sure. 2 friends are feeding their pet rabbits in the living room when they suddenly hear a mysterious noise coming from outside. Both of them are feeling pretty brave as they creep up the window and continue recording. As tough as they might be, neither of them are prepared for what they see next.
There's something crouching down there.
Yeah, could you get the light? What? Yeah. What? Yeah, there's nothing back there.
Outside, some sort of orange 4-legged humanoid is facing away from them. It's very low to the ground. Look directly under the clothesline if you can't see it. It's a strange glowing color that doesn't seem to belong in this world. Play the tape again in slow motion and you can clearly see the humanoid sprint away as soon as one of them knocks on the window to get its attention. It's clearly startled as it retreats over a fence with a speed too fast for its bulky body. The 2 of them rush out in the backyard for a fight, but they find that the creature is already gone. They check a nearby alley and quickly give up. Nobody was hurt. As for what the humanoid was doing, perhaps it smelled the scent of 2 rabbits and went in search of a fresh meal. A man finds himself trapped on the 30th floor of the Shinjuku Center building in Tokyo after the entire city was rocked by a 9.1 quake. Now nowhere is safe and there is nothing left to do except to record as doors and cabinets swing open uncontrollably and the entire building shakes.
Oh! 아버네! 맞아, 아버네! 맞아, 아버네!
Everything grows eerily silent, and then this voice cuts through the speakers. There is a lot of frantic chatter in the background, so I think it was a live broadcast, not a recording. Try and translate if you can, because if you were there, your life may have very well have depended on following these instructions.
こちらが防災センターです。ただいま大きな地震を感じました。この建物は地震に対して安全な設計になっております。
After a while, the speakers turn off, and the guest hopelessly watches as the buildings sway like trees. It's kind of hard to see what I'm talking about, because the building he's in is shaking too. This second video, taken near the top floor of the Shinjuku Center building, shows how bad the shaking really was. The buildings look like they are going to topple at any moment, but they are actually designed to be incredibly flexible and can withstand intense vibrations. Keep in mind that these are just the smaller aftershocks, and not the actual quake itself, which was, believe it or not, much worse. Route 666 in Ohio is well known for all sorts of paranormal sightings. such as hitchhikers without a face and other demonic entities. With this in mind, a YouTuber named The Planet Earth decides to take a long drive down Route 666 at night and records everything with his dash cam. The entire 17-minute video is rife with fear and suspense as this YouTuber thinks he sees something multiple times and bravely stops the car to investigate. One part of the video is particularly concerning. Keep your eyes on the left side and tell me if you see anything weird in the darkness.
Okay. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Looking towards.
I'm not sure if this is just a reflection of a road sign or something, but there appears to be two glowing eyes on the left side of the road. If these are reflective markers, then I'm not sure why someone would bother putting two of them in the middle of nowhere like that. With all of the rumors surrounding Route 666, I wouldn't be surprised if this red pair of eyes belonged to something supernatural, waiting for the next car to break down. Justin White and his friends sneak into the abandoned LA Zoo, which is supposedly one of the most haunted places in the entire city. It's too dark to see much, but they seem to be followed by strange sounds that are getting progressively closer. By the end of the video, it really does seem as though something is right on them.
Oh my God!
Christ! What the? Hear that? Actually hear that?
I felt something on my arm, like I'm not even joking, okay?
We're leaving. Dunzo.
Oh my God, Dunzo.
Twigs snap underfoot just behind them. It couldn't have been one of them because everybody in the group is standing completely still on camera when it happens. Oh, and there's another piece of evidence that makes me think this zoo really might be haunted. They managed to capture a soft voice on camera that they later enhanced for clarity. It sounds like a girl's voice and she seems to have a clear warning. A YouTuber who goes by Anne posted this video back in 2014 of her sleepwalking activity at night. Using a webcam, she is able to record herself night after night jolting up while still being completely asleep. People have debated the authenticity of this video in the comments, but Anne swears she still does this every night to this day. I genuinely believe this footage is real, because sleepwalking is a well-documented behavior. Anne says she finds the footage hilarious, but there's something certainly chilling about that blank stare directly into the camera, as she's 100% asleep. A ghost hunting group called No Fear Paranormal lives up to their name while exploring a haunted cemetery with a K2 meter, a spirit box, and some recording equipment. The name of the haunted place they're exploring is the Tonopah Cemetery in Nevada. They ask it a question, but apparently whatever is nearby has only one topic on its mind.
Can you tell us how many of us are out here? How many people are in the cemetery?
A scary voice of a man comes through their paranormal equipment and calmly responds with two words, a demon. I'm not sure if this is a real ghost EVP or not, but the way it immediately tells them that a demon is nearby is frightening to say the least, and possibly more than a creepy coincidence. A YouTuber named Chris Lamb says that he was all alone when he shot this drone footage at Fort McClellan, Alabama, but the video says otherwise. You can clearly see that nobody is in the background at the beginning. But when Chris steadies the camera just a moment later, you can see someone standing by the street lamp. There's not enough time for anyone to walk out from behind a building, but yet here they are. Also, did you see how they seem to suddenly disappear in plain sight? I don't see any editing cuts, so I have absolutely no idea how this dark silhouette managed to vanish like that. But look again and you can definitely see them dematerialize. There's nothing wide enough for them to hide behind. They're just gone. Let me know if you think Chris Lamb's video is paranormal, extraterrestrial, or otherwise. Japan knows horror. Here's a creepy clip from the Far East. Imagine approaching a traffic light only to run into this. A creepy woman at a pedestrian crossing in Sapporo, Japan, seems to be in a trance-like state. Halfway through the pedestrian crossing, she stopped to stare straight at oncoming traffic, completely unmoving. Although it's clearly the time to cross, as you can see other pedestrians using the crosswalk behind her, she is at a standstill, staring off unnervingly, causing the driver taking the video to wonder what in the world is going on. Even as the light changes, the woman continues to stand there in the middle of the road staring. The driver passes around her, capturing the woman on video, still frozen in place as they pass her by. What do you think is going on? The woman's behavior is unexplainable. Seems like something might be in the water in Japan. That thing you see out of the corner of your eye shouldn't be trusted. Posted by FingerLongJumping804 to the Ghosts subreddit. This looks more like a gremlin than a spirit. The video shows a man just trying to go about his day, taking out the trash, but as he opens the door, this strange small shadow leaps into view and quickly disappears out of the frame. The guy doesn't appear to see the figure in reality as he opens the door. Redditor Joey Josie suggests that someone just threw a piece of clothing across the room. Others think it's a gremlin. Some who've slowed the clip down note that the figure appears transparent, but perhaps the best theory comes from Pantless Weekends, who writes, "Trash bag was taken out, but its soul remained in the house. Better kick that to the curb too, before it stays for good." There's not a lot of information available about this video, besides that it was broadcast live somewhere in Albania. Two radio personalities are having a spirited discussion when suddenly they are interrupted by something that neither of them can explain.
Pjesa më e madhe janë pushim dhe po e shijojnë dhe një ditë mrekullueshme që është për jashtë.
Profesor!
Wow.
Ç'ishte?
A newspaper flies up on its own in the middle of their conversation, and you don't have to speak the language to see the genuine surprise written all over the man's face as it happens. Still, I would really appreciate it if anyone who speaks Albanian could tell me what was being said, or tell me more about their show if you recognize them. I've watched this video many times, and I see no strings attached to the newspaper or anything like that. Obviously, it can't be magnets either. So if it's not magnets or string, then what could it possibly be besides a haunting? A group of forest rangers set up a camera at the Platte River State Fish Hatchery in Michigan to live stream a nest of baby bald eagles mature. They were never intending to accidentally capture a second much larger creature instead during the live feed. A giant humanoid figure covered in what appears to be black fur prowls around the forest floor below. It doesn't look like any other native forest animal, as it clearly stands upright and swings its arms while walking. Maybe it's a person in a full bodysuit, or maybe it's an actual Bigfoot. Then again, since numerous other Bigfoot sightings have been reported in the state over the years, it could very well be legit. A local journalist is covering the wintry weather in Springfield, Massachusetts, when a much more interesting story pops up behind her.
6:15 to 6:30, it has not let up at all. It is coming down pretty steadily here in Springfield.
The creature looks slow and powerful as it lumbers towards them. Bad weather or not, I find it hard to believe that a monster would just walk around a busy town without some sort of immediate police response. It doesn't look like computer-generated effects, so this was likely just a person in a costume.
And we are hurrying. Luckily, our house has sprinklers. When it was built, we've only been in this house for a week and a half, but we're getting everything that's important, and we're getting it out of here.
This scary GoPro video sounds like the final moments of a family fleeing in terror from their haunted home, but that's not what's happening. Midnight is when Tyson and Haley get a phone call that they have to evacuate fast. Not from something paranormal, but a situation just as terrifying nonetheless. Flames are tearing up the mountainside and heading towards their home. Now they have to keep their oldest son occupied and unafraid while not panicking themselves, trying their best to navigate around closed roads and other hazards. You can tell the father wants to scream, but he doesn't want to freak their kids out, so this is how he talks.
That's not good at all, huh, buddy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to go up there.
What will happen if the fire comes to our car?
We would turn around and drive away.
He's definitely a good father for not scaring his children, but the reality of the situation is, at least from what I can tell, that they are low on gas and stuck in traffic without much control over where they go next. Police are frantically trying to direct traffic and stay in communication with the fire department to guide cars away from the blazing inferno, and it isn't looking too good for them. Eventually, they break away and find a moment to collect themselves at the gas pump. As they watch the inferno in the distance, adrenaline finally wearing off, it occurs to them just how close to being goners they really were.
I've never had that feeling or adrenaline rush before. That was crazy.
I'm really glad this wasn't the family's final moments caught on GoPro, and hope they have some good memories ahead to help balance out this horrifying event. In 2010, a mysterious creature sighting was caught on a GoPro camera in Ontario at Algonquin Park. A large shadowy figure unsuccessfully attempts to conceal itself amongst the scenery, too tall to be a shrub and too wide to be a human. There's always the possibility that this is a mannequin and that the video is fake, but if not, then what could this strange roadside creature sighting along the woods possibly be? A man is testing out his GoPro when a mysterious sea creature is caught on camera in deep waters. Look closely behind him. You'll just barely see a small black object move in the waves before mysteriously disappearing back to wherever it came. He suspects this bizarre sighting could have been anything from a great white to an orca whale, or something smaller like an otter or a seal is not out of the question. That's a big difference and not something you'd want left up to your imagination while floating on a kayak by yourself with nothing around for miles. The creature does not resurface and ultimately leaves them alone. He's not sure which mysterious creature is responsible for this suspenseful moment caught on GoPro, but there's always a chance of an even closer encounter next time. Three friends are exploring an abandoned house and feel like it could be haunted because of how creepy it feels. They know there's a ghost in the hallway and they try to talk to it.
If somebody's in here, say or do something.
When nothing happens, they realize the house isn't haunted after all and start laughing at how they thought there was a ghost nearby, and that's when they get a real scare.
He scared you?
Yeah, shit, y'all hear this.
As they run from the ghost in the hallway, one of them starts laughing and says, "You did that," to his friend, but his friend, the oldest of the group and bravest of all, sounds scared pale when he says, "No, I swear." We don't necessarily see anything, but there's no faking that level of fear, and so I believe this scary loud noise was caused by whatever paranormal presence they felt the need to summon and interact with. UK's Drizzly Jeremy goes exploring an abandoned building, in his words, just to see how it was.
I'm gonna explore an abandoned morgue. I don't want to go in because it looks scary.
Inside is quiet and creepy. Beyond a decrepit little office and break room, they find the morgue area, where the passed away were once kept in large refrigerated units. They retch at the disgusting stench. A layer of foul slime has rotted the floor.
What? What is it? Oh, soggy, man.
That's when some scary moments are caught on camera.
Go in there. Obviously under. What?
They hear a loud noise behind them and quickly get out of there. I'm pretty sure the noise is coming from in the space where bodies once were.
What the?
Are you brave enough to take one last look in that storage room before leaving? I wouldn't dare. Creepy things are waiting to crawl up your wall when you live in Florida. Steve Crumbaker watches in horrified fascination, as a lack of limbs does not keep this snake from ascending a brick wall with relative ease. It uses the space between the bricks to scale the wall, always searching for the next small groove to fit into. In 2 minutes, the large snake has managed to wrap itself around the windowsill and appears to lie in wait. They say in the description that it's a rat snake that's harmless to humans, and I wanted to double check if they were right, so let me know. Harmless or not, it would nevertheless provide quite a scare for anyone unfortunate enough to open a window and find one dangling in front of their face. This video comes from a creepy YouTube channel ominously called I Know Where She Is, whatever that's supposed to mean. Anyway, whoever's filming seems to be at some old abandoned house that's covered in years worth of trash. A loud generator blocks out all sound. They turn around as if startled and shine their flashlight on the doorway, but they don't see anything. Neither did I the first time. Look again though, and you'll see the fleeing shadow of someone retreating from the doorway. Overall, it's hard to tell if this was a phantom figure, or just the angle of the flashlight playing tricks across the wall. This trail camera captures some deer grazing when one of them pauses as if something is nearby. They look directly at the camera, and in that moment a phantom pair of eyes move in the opposite direction. I was thinking that this could be a camera glitch that somehow reflects the deer's eyes back at an angle, but the eyes can be seen briefly again at the 12-second mark, and this time it looks like the deer notices and stares directly at them with more curiosity than fear. There are also plenty of other movements where the deer is looking at the camera without the phantom eyes present, so it might not be the equipment after all. Could this be an unknown flying creature like the uploader seems to think? Some cultures believe that the forest itself develops a living spirit to watch over the creatures within, so maybe that is what we are all witnessing here. Fausto Perez believes he has forged a spiritual connection with an extraterrestrial. He sets up a camera to demonstrate his capabilities and waits for a response.
Beings in the sky, come to me, give me a sign, help me advance to a higher level of consciousness, let me see you.
Less than 10 minutes later, he and his team spot a foreign white square twisting in the wind. This is what he affectionately refers to as a flying carpet, as it's apparently just one of the many regular visitors he receives from the sky. Whatever this square-shaped object is, it has to be absolutely huge to be visible from this far away. Only one of the cameras manages to catch it. Overall, no one can say for sure if this is a real encounter or a mere coincidence. If Fausto is wrong about this extraterrestrial sighting, then I have no idea what it could actually be. Zach from the Adventures of Zach and Bee is sure that a wild animal is in his attic. It's dark up there, so he takes the camera with him for light. The noise coming from his attic is unlike anything I've ever heard before. It sounds like a baleful combination of scratching, growling, and howling. Zach doesn't bother going any deeper, and I really can't blame him. Unfortunately for him, it sounds like something follows him on the way out.
Well, I don't see anything, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
An unseen voice says don't, and I think it also says get out of here too. Obviously, this is a real human voice and not an animal after all, and whoever was making that noise remains a mystery. A YouTuber in Italy named Alessio Rubes is experimenting with a homemade Ouija board that apparently works far better than he thought.
C'è qualcuno che vuole parlare con me?
His ghost hunting app goes off at the exact moment his dog goes on full alert, and then things get scarier from there.
C'è uno? Oh! No, raga. Lo starà a vedere, raga?
Alessio leaves the room to investigate, and his dog literally screams at something in the hallway. He turns around to find the light 2 rooms over is mysteriously moving on its own. He spends a moment calming down the poor pup who is now cowering under a chair and looks very scared indeed, further lending legitimacy to this already creepy enough video. When he goes to investigate the light, he finds it still steadily moving. I don't see how you can fake that kind of reaction from a dog, so I think this ghost sighting video is real. It's 12 in the morning when this stranger starts creeping along the side of a fence in slow and even steps, as if in a deep trance. He has an old portable radio on full volume, and he doesn't say anything, just slowly turns the knob.
That's writers.
Occasionally, he pauses long enough to stare through the fence without saying a word. His radio does plenty of communicating though, and this part is especially weird. The radio just so happens to say something about walking away here. They reach the end of the chain link fence and nothing separates the two. The video ends with a really long stare down that the strange man easily wins. He reaches into his coat pocket for something, and the cameraman bolts for cover. A smart decision. This video is supposedly one of the 7 classified videotapes that were taken from government archives and leaked. Of the 7 tapes, only a few snippets have ever made it to the public, including this interesting portion. A strange, gray alien appears to be manipulating some sort of task while in captivity. According to the description, this video could have been shot as early as 1942 and as late as 1969. The footage itself looks fairly convincing, though it could simply be CGI. However, the projector sound effect on the video seems fake. So my guess is this video isn't real after all. If this video is real, then exactly what the alien is intently focusing on, how it came to be captured, and how we are able to communicate with it, if at all, remains a mystery. If you've ever wondered what La Llorona sounds like, elcacoid.tv has the answer for you. Luckily, she's not there in the shower.
Madre, juro que escuché aquí, juro que... Un mes.
And she sounds a lot nearer in the end, so she must be leaving. At least I hope that's the case for the person behind the camera. Cuyahoga official are being stalked by a mysterious being in the darkness. They first capture this figure as they walk toward the haunted place. Still, they do not leave. They continue exploring.
कौन है? आ गया। नींद कहते हैं नींद। वो देखो, वो दीवार पे
रिकॉर्ड हुआ।
ओह, हुआ यार, वो दीवार पे था यार कोई। वो
They then hear some creepy noises around them.
ओ, कितनी गंदगी है यार यहाँ पे भाई।
एक तो आवाजें आ रही यार ये देखो ये
And then they see it.
अल्लाह अकबर यही थी ये यार
It is like the figure is taunting them.
अल्लाह अल्लाह
And it all comes to a head.
ओ कौन? ये क्या?
कौन हो आप?
What does it want from them?
Here we'll go. ओ पीछे पीछे वो दीवार पे देख दीवार पे देख दीवार पे दीवार पे
It seems to appear and disappear repeatedly,
वो देख यार
only to appear again in the end. What is this figure? And what does this all mean? Only the devil knows, which is why this is one scary video they tried to hide from us. Jennifer Garcia and her boyfriend are woken up at 1 in the morning by an alarm from their Ring cam. This weird round object floating around on a clear night is what sets off the alert. Too slow moving to be a bug, not to mention transparent. So what do you think this mysterious unexplained light could be? I'm not sure if it's a real paranormal video, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and entertain the possibility of a ghost orb outside. Scotty, the NJ medium, is holding a ghost hunting expedition when he thinks he hears a growling noise. He wants the ghost to reveal itself, and that's when things do not go as they'd expected.
What's the name of the person growling?
The door opens, but what happens next is a total surprise. The spirit box says who's knocking, followed by 2 taps at the door. Obviously no one is standing on the other side, because you'd be able to see them easily.
Yo, are you kidding?
Scotty and his team admit they're not sure if the door was latched shut or not, but they say there's no wind. I'm pretty sure I can hear wind though, so I'll turn the sound up and you tell me what you think. A YouTube channel called Outdoor Adventures encounters some creepy activity in the woods that some viewers are certain is paranormal. It happens during the first night of a camping trip. He's looking into the distance when there's a brief burst of movement coming from over his shoulder. He suspects that this could be some deer running behind him, but I think it looks more like a ghost encounter because of its pale color and formless shape. Ordinarily, I would say that this was steam from his breath, except this was taken in the middle of summer in north central Pennsylvania, so it's obviously too warm out. And I don't think he's making up the date because it's warm enough that he doesn't need a jacket. So that's surprising and all. But there's one more scary part to this video that I'm sure you won't expect. Did you happen to see the eyes watching over his shoulder at 2 minutes and 17 seconds? Because whatever this is, sure sees the camera. Its odd eyes spaced across an unseen face, much larger than yours or mine. The unliving appears in this live stream, posted to TikTok by Luckman NJ. A pair of guys are speaking to the camera, when behind them something mysterious photobombs their live stream. The robed figure over the young man's shoulder sports a dark face and a head covering. The boy moves in front of it for a moment, blocking the mysterious being from view. He then moves forward again and the figure has vanished. What is this thing? It almost looks like a statue of the Virgin Mary. But then again, where did it disappear to? I guess we're left with more questions than answers for this video. Some poltergeists are gentle, others are vicious. Published by Find Ghost in November of 2021, the uploader of this video writes, "Imagine coming home to this." Security footage captures a large and heavy-looking sofa flip forward onto its face unexpectedly. A moment later, a piece of glass is catapulted from a display in the corner. The glass launches across the room and hits a wall. Then something seems to be horseplaying with the camera itself. It is rolled around onto the floor, while yet another object appears to be on its way to falling over on it. The scary video cuts out before the object does, but I wonder what else this family came home to. Mohammed bin Naim has caught a flurry of weird things on camera that I think needs to be more closely examined to see if it's paranormal. He chooses to investigate the slamming door in the room ahead instead of the breaking glass downstairs. It looks like a ghost is slamming the door, but look again. Approximately 29 seconds is when you can see him try to grab the door unseen, but unintentionally showing his hand in the process. He is slamming the door himself, I'm 99% sure. This video, while possibly fake, is important to show because I think it could shed light on the other ghost hunting videos like this. The camera person could be reaching out with their hand and slamming the door, but I guess we'll never know for sure.
Rocking chairs moving on tune.
This YouTuber's house is so haunted. His possessions act possessed even when brought outside. Take this rocking chair for example, which he records moving on its own.
Not really that windy.
When he looks around at 1 minute and 20 seconds, you can see the flowers and trees are still. Nothing is blowing in the wind because there is no wind. Yet he makes a request to move the chair again. The ghost tilts the chair forward one time to confirm that yes, it is in fact there and fully aware.
Can you rock it some more?
Yes,
As long as we got a visitor.
A strange and mysterious sighting on a doorbell cam has left this Los Angeles resident frightened. Their 5 a.m. visitor is seen through and at times straight up invisible. Plus, listen to how the audio skips when it passes by. Since paranormal energy is known to make cameras malfunction, I think this could be a real ghost sighting video. A YouTuber named MBJ Report has a pest in his yard that has been bothering his dogs, so he decides to stick a garden hose down into the ground and flood it out of its den. Now they are waiting with a net to catch the pest and dispose of it if necessary. It isn't long before he sees two glowing eyes appear out of a second hole in the distance. This appears to be no ordinary pest, but rather a monster instead.
It's something. I don't know what that is.
It remains frozen in the beam of the flashlight for a while, hoping that he will leave it alone. Then the creature drops back into the ground below with a shriek. MBJ Report has had enough and decides to pull the creature up by its tail. He pulls back a red hand with a deep cut, which I unfortunately can't show here, and the video ends. I notice that the creature doesn't really move its limbs at all, and possibly looks like a toy, though I can be wrong. Even still, that doesn't explain the glowing red eyes though. So if you think you can tell if this is fake or real, then be sure to tell me how you know. Two friends struggle to push a boulder off a cliff when a third stands at the bottom to make sure the action is caught on video. I think they were expecting it to drop straight down or something like that, but they are about to learn that gravity works in mysterious ways. It looks like he's about to get it big time, but at 22 seconds the rock bounces at an angle that's barely to the right of where he's standing. There isn't enough time for him to react, and the fact that he's still alive afterwards is little more than random physics and sheer luck. Twins and paranormal investigators Kim and Roxy from a channel called Twin Travel 03 go ghost hunting at the Stanley Hotel in Napanoke, New York. Their ghost hunting app seems to constantly activate when held over one of the creepy dolls. The other two dolls, although creepy, don't seem to set it off at all.
Nothing. Nothing. This little lady.
Kim and Roxy also get a strange paranormal readout in a closet that even one of the employees finds strange enough to comment on.
An old-time phone. There is no phone, but we still hear it ring. And you're getting K2 pin, aren't you?
Yeah, I just did.
Huh.
And when they tell the ghost to take a step back, it seems to obey their commands.
Back away so it goes down to single green. Thank you.
But the creepiness is only just beginning.
Can you move the ball, please? Oh my god, I have chills.
Can you move the ball, please?
It's moving, thank you.
If you are not a believer of the paranormal, then tell me how this can happen with a kid's toy that is filled with nothing more than air.
Again, please.
Oh my.
This home surveillance footage from 2009 shows the Jameson family acting strangely on their property in Eufaula, Oklahoma shortly before they disappeared. They can be seen making about 20 trips to and from their house without talking to each other at all. Some investigators even believe they were in a trance-like state. The Jamesons were not seen again for years, until hunters found their scattered remains in 2014. No one knows what happened to them, because their remains were too decomposed for forensic testing. The cause of their demise has never and probably will never be determined, so all that remains of their last days is this videotape. A YouTuber named Josh Washi is exploring an abandoned building that he suspects is haunted. Long ago this was a school, but now is little more than a crumbling collection of rickety rooms waiting for a closer look. He and his group somehow make it all the way to the attic without falling through the floor. Hidden at the far end is a door to an unknown room that makes them nervous. His friend Nate goes to open it, and that's when the urban exploration goes wrong.
No, that door just opened by itself. That door just opened by itself.
At 3 minutes and 52 seconds, you can see Nate comes very close to touching the door, but ultimately does not, and is in fact moving away from the door when it mysteriously opens like a ghost is near. I think this video is real based on one thing. They were really worried about falling through the floor until they saw the door open and took off running, which could have gone very wrong. While investigating the purportedly haunted Loveland Castle in Ohio, YouTube team Bump in the Night Society experiences something fascinating. Lead investigator Sean is doing a remote estays session in the throne room while his team watches using a baby monitor. This is the message he is given.
Camera.
The team asks the spirits to do something.
Can you knock one of the cameras over, please?
Then, shortly after this happens...
Oh!
No, it knocked mine. It knocked the baby monitor.
You got that okay. Back to that.
Dude, right? You good?
Here it is again from inside the room.
There we go. Back with that. You alright? You good?
Was it just an unstable monitor, or did the spirits answer their request? Personally, I think the spirits were listening. This is too much of a coincidence to be anything but the paranormal. The ghost in this old house is leaving nothing to the imagination. YouTuber Dennis from Dark Life captures the ghostly mist out of the corner of his eye. Watch the top left closely. Using a spirit box, Dennis receives some creepy messages from a spirit here named Paul. Later, Dennis feels Paul's presence all around him.
Павел, ты еще здесь?
What was that? It sounded to me like terminal respiratory secretions. If it is, Dennis had better hope that it doesn't catch up to him. Need help moving your furniture? YouTuber Finia915 will lend you their resident ghost. This video was captured in their home. Watch the table on the left.
Which was here, all into that divine, whereas I must to imitate holy to
Did you see it? The table moves ever so slightly. Watch closely.
Oh, yeah, I did not. Every time I find stairs with them, they're back.
This is what causes her to sprint into another room and lock the door behind her. I can't really blame her. She's either dealing with a ghost or an intruder. And wouldn't you do the same? I sure would. Bright lights can play tricks on you, but this is not a trick. Published by Lane Ghost Hunter in August of 2011, this scary phantom was captured on camera in a driveway. The driveway is dark at first, nothing there. When the car turns on its headlights, the woman holding the camera gasps. That's because she sees this creepy semi-transparent figure appear against the wall for a moment. After shaking in fear, the camera steadies, and the figure is gone. Do you see it? Or is it just a figment of our collective imaginations? This Redditor and their sister have experienced some paranormal happenings in their home. This is the first activity they've ever caught on video. Keep an eye on the drawer in the corner. The drawer slowly but surely opens, leaving the pair to wonder what this ghost is looking for. Redditors have some ideas. A number of Redditors suggest that it could be opening due to subtle vibration, or the cabinet not being installed level leading to imbalance. Unless there's further evidence of paranormal activity, I think this may be the case in this instance, but if I'm being honest, I'd rather it be a ghost looking for a potato peeler. The scariest things are unseen. Redditor Fire from Thaumaturgy shares this video of footsteps in a stairwell, only there's no one there. The footsteps seem to be far away at first, but then come all too close, but some Redditors think it's a hoax. While I also agree that the footsteps sound like they're coming from above and are running in place, this could still be without the Redditor's knowledge or collaboration, which is seriously creepy. In fact, the Redditor claims he was walking down 18 flights of stairs from the top and didn't hear anyone entering the stairwell behind him. They also say they felt a gust of cold air and have a history of encounters with paranormal activity, all of which makes me lean towards this video being legitimate. What do you think? Pipitello's Soul Shorts shares this scary video, whose original source is unknown. Although we don't have context, we can assume this group is touring a haunted place when something unexpected happens.
I don't know. There's no people there now, bro. Yeah, I'm getting four guys, that's what he said.
That one drop kicked my soul from my body. Although the clip is short and we don't see what causes this mayhem, I think it's safe to say whatever it is out to cause fear. According to the YouTube team, Paranormal Boys, one of the most terrifying things they've ever heard on an investigation is this horrible hiss. Listen closely.
It's outside. What the is that? Did you hear that?
Did you hear it? Listen again. It sounds like a hissing breath to me. and whoever is filming can hear it in the moment, which makes me wonder what is in that room with them. Obviously, nothing of this world. A ranch worker experienced paranormal activity for 3 years at her ranch, so she called the YouTube team, Ghost Club Paranormal, in to investigate. They think they found where the spirits are entering.
Is this a portal of some sort, with the two mirrors facing each other?
Is this how you come and go?
Then there's a noise in one of the portals.
Oh, I don't get the feeling that they're related either. I thought I just heard something like the closet. I thought I heard the closet. Something in the closet.
Is that you in the closet?
One spirit likes a bit of chewing tobacco.
Is this what you wanted? If you want it, you have to get close to it, okay? Can you grab that?
Oh.
What?
They just lit up.
Shortly after they receive this clear EVP,
And that's who the owner smells, isn't it? She smells you. And she's trying to sleep at night. She can smell the cigarette smoke.
it sounds like the disembodied voice says, "Yeah, that's me." Later in the darkness, they all see something at once.
What was that?
I don't know. I saw the same thing you did. I just felt it out of the corner of my eye. I saw something move over there. I felt mistakenly. I saw something move, or a movement going off to the right here.
Could it be the spirit that spoke those words earlier? I think it very well could be, but it seems to me that whoever is haunting this ranch doesn't mean any harm. Captured on camera in Wiltshire in 1989 and shared by Redditor Dex Meets Dexter, this footage filmed by John Wabe shows two mysterious flying objects creating what appears to be crop circles. Crop circles form below the strange white objects. Watch again. Is this real? Are we seeing these mysterious extraterrestrial signals being formed before our very eyes? According to many in the comments, this video is a known hoax that was debunked years ago. This still doesn't stop some people from believing this is real though. I'm convinced it's a fake, but a pretty compelling one at that. The ancient Ram Inn in the UK is notoriously haunted. YouTube team Lost Souls Paranormal Dorset has come to test its reputation, and they don't leave empty-handed. The spirits quickly show they mean business.
What the? You got scratches on your arm.
In one of the rooms, the team hears walking and singing.
Anyone in this room, can you let us know, please?
I saw a man talking.
Yes, so did I, and I can...
Multiple cat balls go off at once, and the team is given a name.
No, I've been sent over there. I don't know what. Cat ball. Oh, the cat ball's going off.
And it wasn't you walking, because your phone would have gone off.
Is that you? Is that the lady? Josie. Josie, just got the name Josie, honest.
Is Josie here? We'll soon know for sure. The team believes they've captured her figure in the mirror. Do you think this is a phantom reflection? I do see a face and an eye, but I could be imagining things. All this evidence, however, does seem promising. A broadcast of devastating weather in Peru captured something unusual. TikToker PG Stories Official shares this footage of a mysterious creature lurking in the debris. This was taken in Santo Domenico. Watch closely as the camera pans around. A strange figure is lurking just out of sight. The figure crouches down further when it is seen. What is this thing? Its arms look irregularly elongated, but it's otherwise hard to make out its features. Is it a creature that only appears in bad weather? If the footage was a little clearer, I might have a better idea. But for now, I'm gonna say it's the love child of a rake man-shade spirit ghoul. When you're a paranormal investigator, sometimes entities attach themselves to you, so watch your back. The YouTube team Spirit Stalkers were followed home by a demon. While in this haunted prison, they start hearing things.
That's you, do it right now, loud! Bro, what? Oh my... Are you serious? Did you hear that? Yes, I did. What the
A little later, they hear something even louder.
What the is that? Was that a firework or? That was way too loud. That was right above me, dude.
They ask the spirit if it knows one of the team members.
Yeah, do you know Jake already? If you do, can you make a noise or make an equipment go off? Oh my bro! Wow. Oh my. Why is it me?
Later, while using the Connect app, they receive a message from the unseen.
Help me. Help me! Oh my. Who's asking for help? What? This is insane right now. Are you the cop?
He tries to communicate with the spirits, and then the REM pod is triggered.
Oh my. I literally just saw something in front of me and then the REM pod goes off. Oh my. David, is that you? And then it stops.
But in the end, they feel that whatever is here has attached itself to Jake.
And it involved you. It involved Jacob Bruce from Bruce Nation. Seriously though, I almost made us leave. It was so terrifying and so disturbing. I almost pulled us out of the investigation. It would have been a first. Dude, something here does not like you.
Do spirits dislike specific people? I'm sure they do. There's probably something in Jake's own spirit that is too pure for them. While walking a wooded trail near their house, Redditor Angel of Souls 25 hears a strange sound. Listen closely. Do you hear it? They believe it sounds like a siren of some sort, and to add to the creepiness, according to the Redditor, a group of crows converged shortly after. Many in the comments don't think it's necessarily paranormal though. I think this Redditor is probably right, but without knowing the natural explanation, seeing crows descend after hearing this would amplify the creepy factor by at least 10 times. The UK has its own version of the Amityville house, and Moxley's paranormal world is here to investigate it. Upon entering, Moxley immediately gets the creeps.
It just looks like something out of a classical.
In one of the rooms, a number of their devices are triggered.
Getting some spikes there. Do you not like us? Not like me sitting on the bed? Wait, it's going mad. Let me put it down. Right.
Moxley notes an anomaly in this doorway, but I'm more interested in the whispers that I hear while he's talking at this moment. Listen closely.
If I was you at first.
Move, and I feel somebody's right there with me. I swear to you, I feel like somebody's here. And then I hear shuffling there, like pants shuffle.
Yeah.
Was it one of the other guys talking under him? But perhaps the most chilling occurrence during this investigation is what happens next.
What? What the
hell is that?
Shh.
Mate, that's down here. That's down here.
The guys search downstairs for the source of the scream, but find it empty. They decide to leave. I think that's the best thing they could do. That scream was terrifying, and who knows if it's real, or something trying to lure them in. One of the last things you'd wish to stumble across on an urban exploration is a coffin. YouTube team Review de Terre 2.0 shares this video of their chilling discovery on an exploration of an abandoned building. As they wander, mysterious things happen.
On a porté sur le tout. Ta mère quoi? Wallah, sur le tout. Non. Wallah, je l'ai pas touché. Quoi? Arrête.
Is someone in the building with them? Then they come across this creepy but amazing bit of sculpture outside.
Je croyais que c'était notre cerveau qui jouait nos
C'est craint l'amour dans Dofus.
Eh gars,
It becomes clear that something is watching them, and shortly after, it becomes even clearer. It turns out to be a friend, so there's one mystery solved, but this is perhaps their most startling discovery.
Oh, il y a encore la tête cachée là.
I'm not sure if that's a coffin, but it's hard telling what it could be otherwise. I know I wouldn't want to try it on for size. While doing a spirit box session inside this century-old house, a ghost shuts the door on this conversation. YouTuber The One and Only League shares this creepy footage.
Cute.
The ghoul changes its mind, deciding to let us in after all. They continue the session, and it happens again.
Yo, it's doing it right now! Yo, it just moved! What the heck?
Unfortunately, the camera is turned too far to the left for viewers to see it fully closing the second time, but we do see the beginnings of the close. I have to say, this compelling paranormal evidence would inspire me to dig deeper into the history of this haunted home. I'm sure there's something to this activity. Are you convinced this is a ghost? Captured at 2 a.m. on Redditor Mermaids Have Wi-Fi's friend's grandparents' Ring camera. This one has me guessing. The semi-transparent figure passes by, walking slowly across the front lawn. Its upper half seems to disappear as it continues past. Some think it's just a camera glitch, others think it's concerning. Take a closer look and see for yourself. The Redditor doesn't believe this is a ghost. Her friend is convinced it is, and she wanted to disprove it with Reddit's help. Are these Reddit comments convincing enough? I've got to admit, this does look like a slow shutter speed situation creating ghosting artifacts, but frankly, if I were these homeowners, I'd rather this be a ghost than an actual human on my property. A little boy ghost is apparently haunting the disappointments room at the historic Jefferson Hotel. The official YouTube channel for the hotel shares this footage, captured on security camera. I'll let the hotel's manager explain.
I'm telling the spirits, right here, I'm leaving to show themselves. We're doing a little investigation up here in what we call the...
He is seen taking a photo in the room, and this is the result.
In question. If you look in the center of your screen, what I see is a little boy with a jacket staring at me. I'm going to show you a series of photos, and let me show you the enhanced version right there.
Do you see what he's seeing? I do, and now I'm wondering how this boy passed away and why he haunts the disappointments room. This mysterious figure warrants even further digging into the Jeffersons' storied history. This now abandoned estate is a remnant of the Russian Empire, and it's believed to be haunted. YouTuber Dimitri Blackdad attempts to spend the night here. Will he make it out alive?
Все очень плохо по ощущениям. Потому что я чувствую, что у меня очень сердце болит. Без всяких приколов.
He feels sick already upon entering. It seems that something evil lies within.
Без всяких шуток, ребят. Без всякого преувеличения. У меня сейчас мандраж идет.
His fear escalates from there.
Что за звук сейчас был?
Although Dimitri doesn't see anything jump scary, you can feel his fear within you as he walks this historic estate.
Не обращайте внимания на то, как я дышу. Потому что мне тяжело дышать.
I can barely breathe too. This is one terrifying tour I wouldn't want to take alone in the dark. Is this abandoned farmhouse haunted? That's what YouTube crew, Is It Haunted, is here to find out.
Tonight, me and Becky are on our own, and we're in this like mega cool old farmhouse, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's pretty empty, pretty void of any belongings or anything like that, but it's very, very...
They get responses on a spirit box and other EVPs.
Come to talk to any spirit energy tonight.
Then a ball moves at the top of the stairs, followed by a tapping noise.
Yeah, it's definitely got the heebie-jeebie feels.
What?
Oh no.
During another spirit box session, they receive an evil message. Then they capture a series of noises upstairs.
You want Becky to go upstairs?
So is this farmhouse haunted? I think they got their answer. Exploration Unknown is a Knoxville-based urban exploration channel run by a man named John Turner. First appearing on YouTube in 2016, he dedicates his time to venturing into creepy abandoned locations, from derelict homes to former orphanages and asylums. His choice of location will often have a gruesome true story behind them, including the takings of life and other horrible events. Back in November 2017, John, along with friends James and Tim, returned to the abandoned Glendale orphanage they previously explored. This time their goal was to conduct the infamous 3 a.m. challenge. In short, 3 a.m. is considered the witching hour, the perfect time for hunting ghosts. Almost right off the bat at the video start, John and the others have split up when a wooden board is seen falling on its own from behind a doorway. John goes to investigate, and much to his shock and slight bemusement, it turns out it was just James playing a joke on them. This appears to be in James's nature, as he does so again when he slams a metal door shut, scaring John so badly he accidentally stops recording. Jokes aside, Tim soon begins to feel lightheaded after the trio go to the second floor and therefore decides to head outside for some air. Meanwhile, James and John continue to investigate the second floor, finding the normal things you would expect in an abandoned building: graffiti, specks of dust, etc. When they descend the stairs back to the first floor, they are shocked to find Tim collapsed on the floor, out cold.
Down in the basement. I hope I got reception down there.
Tim?
Dude, you okay? Tim, dude. Tim.
Bro, what are you doing?
You okay, man?
Thankfully, they were able to wake him, although he is clearly dazed and groggy. The reaction from John and James are of genuine concern and confusion, and Tim appears to be really out of it with a pale complexion. Deciding Tim's safety is more important, James and John help their fallen friend back outside and back to the car. Clearly shaken by the incident, John and James decide not to venture into the basement, and instead, footage of their previous visit is shown. It is unknown what exactly happened, and no other paranormal activity can be seen in the footage, so it is undetermined if Tim was the victim of some sort of attachment. He does show the common signs of paranormal attachment, which often manifest as feeling lightheaded and nauseated, and can even lead to passing out. What could also be possible is Tim came under the effects of harmful dust in the building. Considering the age and state of the orphanage, it is possible Tim became overwhelmed by particles such as asbestos, a once common insulation that can cause damage to the lungs if breathed in. The fact that John and James were unaffected does cast some doubt on this theory, although it is still completely possible. Regardless, finding your friend unconscious on the floor of such an eerie location is certain to scare anyone. Thankfully, Tim was okay and apparently started feeling a bit better after resting by the car. With that said, the three decided to call it a night and left the location. John clarified in the video description and comments Tim was okay and recovered, as well as thanking those who expressed concern for his condition. On February 21st, 2021, John uploaded a director's cut of the original video, acting as a sort of commentary. John discusses his personal experience that night. He stated he felt concerned about Tim when he said he wasn't feeling good, and expressed regret for not going with Tim to make sure he was alright. He also said he has received messages from people who had lived there during its operation, saying they actually had good experiences while residing there. They considered it a home with the staff taking good care of them. Comparing it to places such as Leckworth Village, it is a relief to hear good experiences about an orphanage, as they can be notorious for negativity, to put it mildly. When discussing the moment he and James found Tim, he said it looked as if he broke his leg. It is at this point John himself discusses a possible third explanation for Tim's condition. According to John, Tim had been up almost 30 hours at this point and had actually worked a full shift of work prior to joining the others. However, he also expresses Tim is sensitive to locations, including a time he collapsed at Skinwalker Ranch. This gives further support something had attached to him, but considering the positive remarks from former residents, it's hard to say what attached. It's good to know Tim turned out okay in the end, as these investigations can cause serious consequences.